coverage and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paiswell Forbes. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty. At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Welcome to What's Trending. I'm Jiminita Swain, your insider on all things bold, buzzy, and worth talking about, from the headlines lighting up your feed to the real issues shaping our world. Today is Tuesday, July 22nd, so kick back and get ready to catch the buzz. On today's show, it's culture in the making. Young Bahamians are exploring unique opportunities, gaining exposure, and embracing their heritage in exciting new ways. We're talking Summer Culture Camp, where tradition meets creativity and the next generation connects with their roots. Also, discover the power of summer sports. Learn how summer sports programs are shaping healthy, confident individuals across the country. And grab your luggage, sunglasses, and summer wear. We're headed on vacation. A travel expert is here to share essential do's and don'ts for this busy travel season, helping you make the most out of your getaway. That and so much more after the break. You're watching What's Trending.
Diet-friendly special.
Cultural camps are more than just fun. They're an investment in the nature's future identity. For Bahamian youth, these programs are essential to keeping traditions alive while helping to develop well-rounded, culturally grounded individuals. And this year, many young people are actively participating in the cultural aspect of summer camp. Joining us now is Anja Bo, Cultural Officer in the Fashion Division. Anja, welcome to What's Trending.
Thank you so much for having me. I had to pop in to just give a little, nudge to culture. I want to send a shout out to all of my cultural staff as well. And of course, as you know, we have at least 9 camps going on that are absolutely free. So I definitely had to pop in just to come and visit you guys so we can let you know a little bit about what's going on.
Having you here with us today. So give us an overview of the cultural camp. What are participants experiencing throughout the summer month?
Right. So like I said, we have 9 different camps going on across Nassau. Apart from the camps that we have going on in Nassau, we also have camps going on in the Family Islands as well as in Nassau. but we're also doing the School of the Blind as well. So we have a separate camp happening for the School of the Blind where they're doing things like murals, art, they're doing film and other music and other things for the blind as well. So if you have visually impaired children, you can just visit us right at the School for the Blind. So I'll start off with them. Apart from them, we also have at Aubrey Sales, we have the choir and drum and band camp. So from ages 5, they're accepting kids. So if you have kids with lots of energy, boys with lots of energy, they love the drumming class, right? So you want to take your kids to the drumming camp. It's definitely free, drop them off. It's from 9 until 1 o'clock. And so they have the whole morning to enjoy themselves and get all that energy out. At Anatole Rogers, we also have the theater arts camp. And so that camp, they're focusing on musical theater. So those kids that are interested in going on Broadway entered that camp, and they are also accepting children from ages 5 and up as well. And then at CV Bethel and at Government High, we have dance camps. And so all of our dancers, you can head on there. At LW Young, we have film camp as well as animation. So for those kids that like to draw and create scenes and stuff like that, they're also doing, that's actually a really fun camp, because the film camp, they're doing things like cooking shows and all sorts of
So it sounds like a good mix.
Yes, and that's just half of the camps that we have going on.
And tell us what's the main purpose for the camps.
So the main purpose is, well, you know, every year we do summer employees.
Yes.
And so we bring in students from ages 15 and up to work along with professionals in this field to just get a feel of what this kind of business is, right? Because what we really want to do is create a spirit of entrepreneurship among our youth, and have them realize that we can now use our culture to make money for us and to work for us as well. So things that you have a passion for can now be your business. And so we connect them with persons that are already in these fields and in these industries, so that they can see a little bit of what it is like to be in this sort of industry and do this sort of thing every day and be paid for something that you do in the cultural industries.
Sense. So are there any, you mentioned film, are these new experiences that you added to the camp, or they've always been a part of the summer features, or are there new additions?
Well, these additions were brought to us when we acquired persons like Miss Moya Thompson, who now, she started working with us, I think maybe 2 years ago. And so her film and animation camp is something new to us for the last about 2 years that she was with us. But before then, it would have been just dance, music, and things like that. But now we have things like fashion, film, animation, mural creation, and things like that.
So it definitely sounds like a good mix. So how does this help to preserve our Bahamian culture and identity? It's not just such a vast area of offerings that the campus get to experience.
Well, first of all, the pathway to expanding and taking our culture to the world is through the youth. So if we can inspire just a few, then we know we've done our job, and we know that we can take this culture thing to another level, because really and truly, they are the creatives, right? They are the ones who, they know how to do this internet stuff and these technical things, and really and truly, when you want to get into the world market, you have to be up to date with those sorts of things.
Must be tech savvy.
So those kids are going to take us to the world.
So are there any elders or experts, do we touch on teaching or storytelling during the camps?
Absolutely. So our literacy camp, speaking of our literacy camp, we actually only do apprentice for our literacy camp, because those apprentices, they actually publish their own books. And so last year we published 8 books. This year, so far, we have about 4 books so far that is published. So meaning that they have their name, front cover and everything, and now they can sell their books on Amazon, right? So we are creating entrepreneurs, creating workers.
And so how is the wider community then engaged through these camp activities and showcases?
Next weekend, that would be a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. August 1st, we'll be having our final showcase where you'll be able to see a little bit of everything. So all of the camps are coming together to have one big show. So it's a whole day of just wonderful showcase. And so you'll see not only what's happening on the stage, but around the stage, you'll see the things that the kids would have worked on throughout the 4 weeks that we've been there. So
Now, you alluded to it earlier, fashion, and obviously that's a big draw for a lot of persons. So how is fashion incorporated into the camps this year?
Right, so fashion is my department, so we can go all day about it, but I'll make it brief, okay? I promise. So with fashion, of course, we want to encourage fashion. We want to encourage, you know, we want to encourage the creation of our fashion and all these different things, but we also want to incorporate the culture into it. The culture side of it is the straw, right? And so what we do is in our fashion camp, and especially our fashion apprentice, they all have to produce a garment for me at the end of the 4 weeks and incorporate straw in some way. So incorporate natural materials into their garments. So now you're expanding your creativity to another level. You're not just coming to just make a shirt or regular pants out of some material. No, you're now using natural materials, plaiting the straw yourself, and really understanding the work that goes into making a straw bag, the work that goes into making a straw brooch, straw earrings, or anything like that, you know, understand.
And what challenges do you think we're facing in terms of keeping our cultural education alive?
Our challenges, advertisement, getting the word out there. And I think that's one of the challenges that we're having as from the ministry end is, you know, getting the word out there. Because many times people have said, oh my gosh, I didn't even know you guys were having that, or I didn't even know that that was going on. So I think from our standpoint as a ministry, our main thing is how best do we reach our communities, right? How best do we reach the people so they know that we have these offerings and that we're doing these things to come, because it's free.
Right? Everybody loves free. Well, Andrew, we wish you all the best in your efforts this summer. Happy camping.
Thank you.
Dear campers.
Thank you so much.
Great having you here with us as well.
Thank you.
Well, stay with us. What's Trending? We'll be right back with highlights from the Jeff Rogers Sporting Camp.
Your home is your sanctuary. The last thing you need to worry about is rodents. Once they enter your property, they can be tough to get out. If you're concerned about rodents, call Rent-A-Kill Initial. We offer the latest, most effective treatment for safe, fast, and long-lasting results. From prevention to elimination, our integrated approach guarantees protection. For rodent control you can trust, there's only one name in the Bahamas: Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Sports summer programs are more than just games. They are powerful tools for shaping lives. For a nation like the Bahamas, investing in these programs helps build stronger communities and unlocks the potential of the next generation. This summer, many young Bahamians are participating in various camps across the country. Joining us now is Jeff Rogers, who has been organizing impactful summer camps for many years. Jeff, welcome to What's Trending.
I'm happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us today. So let's start with an overview of this year's summer camp. What can persons expect, or what are they experiencing?
This year camp, first let me thank you for having me here. You know, God is good to me, and I'm just happy to be alive. The camp is going to be exciting this year. You know, we try to make it exciting, inviting a number of professional athletes, you know, to come over, do a little pep and motivation talk, you know, for our campers. I'm looking forward for that. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. We try to make it fun, you know, for the campers, even though we talk a lot, but so many other things like life skills. But
how many years have you been hosting your camp?
This year would be 37 years.
That's a long time. You almost 4 decades.
Yes. 37 years, and it just brings a lot of excitement for me personally. You know, I enjoy doing it, you know.
And how are the participants selected, or do they register? What's that process?
Well, you know what, you know, been doing the camp for so long, you know, a lot of parents who came through the camp, they have their kids coming through the camp, and then I reach out to a number of the private places, you know, sponsors, you know, they sponsor kids to the camp. So you get them from all different walks.
Okay.
You know, having this campus is not a problem, you know, getting kids in the camp.
So then how does this camp benefit the participants in terms of physically, mentally, and socially?
Well, the camp is about character building. You know, we don't just teach fundamentals, basketball skills. We talk about life skills. And we talk about preparing them for the real world. Basketball only going to take you so far in life. And if you don't understand all the other things that goes with basketball, you wouldn't go nowhere. So we talk about the importance of discipline. We talk about, you know, you can use basketball as a tool for your education. So we encourage you to go to school. We talk about how you have to distance yourself from places and folks who don't mean you no good. So, you know, it's almost like you raising a kid, you know, sharing all of the basic, you know, information what parents would share with their children, you know.
So do you have any celebrity guests or special appearances lined up for this camp?
Well, you know, that's the highlight of the camp. You know, guys like the former great Muggsy Bogues, who've been coming to the Bahamas now for like over 20-something years. You know, he plans his vacation every year, so he's going to be here for that. We have Klay Thompson, who spent many years growing up in the camp as a young boy. Michael Thompson, his father, you know, he's one of my best friends, you know, he'll be back here. We got another former player, Shalvin Mack, Buddy Hield. All of these guys will be at the camp this summer. And so we're looking forward and having a great camp. And, you know, we try, like I said, to make it exciting for the campus.
That definitely sounds good. But tell us more about the coaches, the volunteers, and the staffers who help to bring the camp to life.
Well, you know, now when you say to life, you mean for this year or?
Yeah, for this year.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have a number of local instructors, guys like, I don't know if you're familiar with any of the name, Mitch Johnson, who was a young boy who grew up in the camp, Jeffrey Henfield. These are guys who played professional basketball overseas and they back home. Z Thompson, you know. So these are local players who grew up in the camp, but they became professional and they play ball overseas. So they're back home now, giving something back to the camp.
And are there any new features or new programs that we will be seeing this time around?
Well, you know, the basic fundamentals of the game don't change, you know. We just make it fun for the kids, for the campus. And again, you know, the highlight of the camp is having the NBA guys there and teaching them the fundamental drills, but also give them time to interact with each other on the breaks and stuff like that, you know. So the camp is just, like I said, bringing the best out. I have some scouts coming to town from the United States who will be looking at some of the high school kids.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward for that. And Magic Johnson's brother, Larry Johnson, will do the official opening of the camp for us on the 28th. So he'll be here on Sunday to open the camp on Monday.
Definitely sounds exciting. So how do you measure or evaluate the impact of the camp each season?
Well, you know what, we get feedbacks, you know, from parents. I have a number of parents reach out to me. We get together, the instructors, we talk about the camp. We talk about the challenges. We talk about some of the young campers who we see have a future, you know, and so we just interact with each other, and that's how we do it. Yeah.
And how do you see, you said you've been around 37 years, how do you see your camp growing and expanding even more in the future?
Well, you know, the camp for me is just another way of giving back to the community. This is something I enjoy doing. Every year when I take my vacation, this is what I give back. And I've been taking vacation for that many years. And it's a lot of fun, you know, to travel through the islands in the Bahamas, and somebody will come up to you and say, Mr. Rogers, I used to go to your camp. You know, they share their story with me and stuff like that. So I guess as long as God keep me alive, you know, I have folks who are willing to step to the plate, you know, to take over eventually, you know. But again, and I'm willing to step aside. But again, you know, I just enjoy giving back, you know, and this is a great way for me, you know, to give back and try to help these young people to see there's a better way to live than doing the crazy things out there.
Makes sense.
Basketball is just an avenue to bring them together, to teach them some life skills.
Good stuff. And finally, what long-term role do you believe sports can play in youth development in the Bahamas?
Sports is life. You know, sports is something that I think sports bring countries together. It brings communities together. It brings young people together. So sports will always be here. And I'm one of those persons who encourage that. You know, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, they have a big responsibility working in the community with young people. And as you know, sports is big in the Bahamas.
Yes.
And I'm involved in sports from the business side of it. And so this is something I think is great for our country, and I want to be one of those persons to encourage that and encourage parents to get those youngsters involved in, and not just for the fun of it, but there's a big future in it.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Jeff, for joining us. And here's to another successful camp.
I appreciate it, and thank you for having me.
Great to have you with us.
Okay.
Well, stay with us. What's Trending will be right back after the break with all of your travel tips for this busy summer season.
Diet-friendly special.
Tired of looking at the same old kitchen? Step 1. Our talented recommended designer Mark crafts a custom design just for you. Step 2. Once your design is ready, CBS Bahamas makes ordering effortless. Your dream kitchen is within reach. Step 3. Our recommended installers bring your vision to life, ensuring every detail is perfectly in place. Sit back and relax as your dream space becomes a reality. Visit cbsbahamas.com and start bringing your home improvement dreams to life today.
Outbound travel by Bahamian residents has surged in recent years, fueled by improved connectivity and expanded travel options. Cruise travel now dominates, accounting for approximately 82% of all inbound travel to the Bahamas. But it's not just about incoming tourists. Bahamians themselves are increasingly exploring the Caribbean and beyond. Joining us now to break down the trends is independent travel expert Jaquay Strawn. Jaquay, welcome to What's Trending.
Thank you.
It's so great to have you here with us today. So talk to us. How has the travel demand been so far for the summer?
Well, it's been good. I've just joined since January, so a lot of people are just finding out about me. But so far, so good. I've done a few bookings for the summer, and like you say, Caribbean destinations are at the top.
That sounds interesting. So that was going to be my next question. So people, well, like, what Caribbean destinations do you find people are favoring?
So right now, Jamaica is a hotspot. Jamaica, Panama. And then Punta Cana is becoming one of those as well.
Okay, so people so are you seeing more interest then in international travel as well, or domestic getaways?
Well, I've had people reach out to me for both, but I lean more towards the Caribbean destinations because you have the all-inclusive packages, the hotel, yes.
That makes sense. And so when are most travelers making their bookings? Are they doing it early or are they doing it last minute?
Well, you know, the typical Bahamian. Most of them last minute, but you know, you have persons who prefer to plan ahead and pay, because when you plan ahead, you have a choice of doing a payment plan. So I've had a lot of persons reach out in regards to doing payment plans.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. And would you say group trips are becoming more popular? We understand a lot of Bahamians are taking advantage of these Caribbean vacations, like you mentioned earlier. But what's driving the group travel? Okay,
so for me, I've just recently done a girls group trip to Jamaica, and since I posted on social media, it blew up. So now most persons are reaching out to me for groups more than single bookings.
Okay.
And then when I do group bookings, I do a travel bag package with little goodies inside of it. So I've had a lot of persons reach out to me in regards to that. And then
so you seem like you take the guesswork out of traveling.
Yes, definitely.
That sounds good. That makes it easy. And you mentioned Panama earlier. Clearly, it's becoming a favorite. How are bookings for that destination? What have you been seeing?
Oh, it is on a high demand as well. So with Panama, when you tell them about, because even though you can do a package, the tickets fluctuate because it became so hot. The tickets fluctuate, so sometimes it may be about $300 today, and then when you check tomorrow, it's about $500, $600. So they kind of lean towards going to Panama or Jamaica. So most persons will lean more to go to Jamaica because you have a reduced deposit plan where you can pay $300, and that secures your flight, hotel, and transportation to and from the airport.
Wow, that sounds
So they will lean more towards Jamaica than Panama.
Okay, so what are some of the trends you are noticing as it relates to cruise travel, and how important is it to book early for a cruise?
Okay, so for the cruise, I haven't booked much cruises as yet. Most Bahamians don't understand, like they want to travel, they want to do cruise, but the visa is important. So a lot of Bahamians don't have visas. So with the cruise option, that is out the door for many.
But there is a no cruise.
A no visa cruise.
No visa
yes.
cruise. So you want to.
So with the no visa cruise is it departs from Panama. So you'll have to get a ticket to go to Panama. The ports are Curacao, Aruba, Colombia, and that it isn't as cheap as the visa cruise. But for a person who doesn't have a visa, it'll definitely be worth their while. Yes.
They'll take advantage.
Yes, they'll take advantage of it.
So then, what would your advice be for? Because you know, in the summer period, we book in either with a large group traveling, and then especially with people who are traveling with their children. What would be your advice to them when they're booking their vacation?
Definitely book in advance. Definitely, booking groups, it can be tedious. It can be. So when you're booking, this person can say, oh, I'm going. And then when it's time for the deposit, it's something else.
Yes.
So I take the hassle out of that, and I contact everyone and, hey, remind them about payment plans or payment is due or whatever. So if you're planning a group trip, let a travel expert take care of that for you, because it's going to be a lot. Yes.
Stressful.
So definitely book and plan in advance.
So would you say people are still sticking with traditional hotspots like Florida, or are they branching out to destinations like Europe, Asia, or Latin America?
Okay, so as far as Bahamians, they still sticking to Florida, especially persons traveling with kids.
That's easier. They're
Yes,
still sticking with Orlando, Disney World,
yes.
doing the family fun
Yes, the
stuff.
family fun stuff. So we try to expand their minds. Like, you can do Caribbean destinations. They have all-inclusive resorts where kids, and they have water parks and stuff. And it's the inclusive resorts is all meals, drinks, activities. So you can
So you can't beat that.
You can't beat
It's
that.
all in
No.
one. So
Yes,
are
all
there
in one.
any standout travel packages or promotions that travelers are taking advantage of, or that you've been encouraging them to take advantage of so far?
So like I say, I stick more to booking the Caribbean destination. So there are packages that I have right now for Jamaica, Punta Cana, Aruba, those. And you have a few persons that took advantage of those.
So it's going to be fun
Yes,
times.
yes.
Okay. So there, like we talked about the no visa cruise option, which is fun, but are there any tips for those persons looking to book a trip before back to school? Is that possible? Is that doable?
It is doable, but you can only go where your pocket takes you.
You're right.
You can only go where your pocket
is. Pricey.
Yes, anytime you book a flight close to the date, it's always more than booking in advance.
Makes sense. So just prepare.
Yes.
Just prepare to pay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your insights, Jaquay. It definitely has been a pleasure, and all the best as you continue to
Yes.
assist Bahamians in exploring the world.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Well, stay with us. What's Trending continues in just a moment.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
Hey, ladies, where's the day? Oh, okay, thanks. Bets.
Greg, what's up?
Ready, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
You up?
He's meditating. You gotta give him at least an hour.
All right, well, I can wait. I ain't got nothing to do. Been penitentiary now on to independence.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Coming up on Wednesday's show, it's the summer month, so why not explore the forts and cultural sites of the capital? We'll tell you what's in store and how you can make the most out of your cultural adventure this season. Well, be sure to join us, or follow us rather, on Instagram. That's at What's Trending on ZNS for all the latest buzz, behind the scene moments, and what's hot on the timeline. We'll be right back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. with more lifestyle, entertainment, and everything in between. I'm Jiminy DeSwain. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. Tour operators say the opening of Celebration Key is the spark Grand Bahama needed. And know your rights. Police break down self-defense and keeping your home safe.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
And welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks for tuning in. Topping news tonight, it is just what the island needed to spark a turnaround. That is the general sentiment of tour operators on the island after Carnival Celebration Key, after years in the making, welcomed its first guest over the weekend. Cleopatra Murphy spoke with a few operators who provided their assessment so far.
It's been just days since Carnival Celebration Key opened, but local tour operators are already reaping the benefits of additional tourists to the island. Owner of Clearview Tours, Navarre Smith, that offers a comprehensive island tour with stops in Port Lucaya, Williamstown, and the downtown farmers market, only sees it getting better.
Today I'm going to have about 17 to 18 people, which is awesome for me because my max capacity is 20 per bus. I'm a small company, so that's a big impact for me, those numbers. And so we're going to do just that. We're going to take them around and give them a feel of the culture, of the vibe, the spirit of the island, let them feel that warm hospitality.
Owner of S&D Coach Tours Shylock Edwards is welcoming the addition of Celebration Key, even as he is hopeful more guests will opt to leave the property.
It has been a positive impact. We've been doing pretty well. Not full staff yet, but soft, very soft, because, you know, a lot of people want to see the key, and I feel like they don't want to venture as far out yet to excursions. So we're very soft. We're running about 10%.
Mark Hello, owner of Baja Treasures Company Limited, is also excited about the new business the new attraction is bringing.
We've moved to that higher level where we could compete against the rest of the world. Hello? Carnival, the biggest corporation and cruise corporation in the world, is here, and Reno Royal Caribbean is just right next door. What does this do? Grand Bahama has found its gift, and our gift is where our greatest value is. Millions of people will be coming.
Not only are tour operators benefiting from the business boost, but they are also ensuring that local businesses get a piece of the economic pie.
Areas like the Williamstown Fish Fry, the $2 bar, and other vendors out there who sell native foods and drinks, they're happy to see when the taxi drivers and tour operators come in.
The best way to learn about us, who we are, is to take them down home. This is a down home experience. Them folks eating conch salad. Hello? Hello? Conch fritters? They even... Hey guys, did you like that punch you got today?
Enjoying the island, its sights, and culture as part of her university graduation trip is Lily Johnson.
I love it. The weather's amazing. Our tour guide is absolutely amazing. We've had lots of fun singing songs. We've had beautiful stops, and it's an amazing trip so far.
After the island was in a state of decline for years, Smith says residents should be very optimistic, and he is encouraging others to capitalize on what he sees as a revival. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Certainly is great news. Well, alongside their monumental achievement of Celebration Key, Carnival Corporation simultaneously made another historical footnote with Caribbean Bottling Company, a local nationally recognized staple at the destination. Our Matthew Martinborough shares more details in this report.
As Carnival Corporation officially unveiled its highly anticipated tourist destination, Celebration Key, on Saturday morning, Caribbean Bottle Company made history alongside the cruise line enterprise as they will serve carbonated beverages to 24 food and beverage vendors on the site. The first ever collaborative effort of its kind between the two entities. Senior Marketing Director of Caribbean Bottling, Kara Douglas Adderley, notes a special product launch was done to honor the momentous occasion.
For Caribbean Bottling and Coca-Cola Caribbean, we were thrilled to bring in these launch cans, which have a fresh design just for Celebration Key. They have the date, the location, and these will be available not only at Celebration Key, but also across Grand Bahama for anybody who really wants to participate in the launch of this fantastic new product.
She adds the occasion also marks a major transitional period for Carnival due to the company's long-standing history with another widely recognized brand.
Carnival has historically been a Pepsi property and a Pepsi account, so it is moving over to Coca-Cola, so it's a pretty big deal. Not only their physical island properties are moving over to Coca-Cola, also all of their ships.
The marketing mogul shares there's more to come for the enterprise with a unique customer-centric event coming very soon.
On August 1st, we're going to be here again doing a customized event at Costrite Freeport. We are going to be in, as soon as you walk through the doors, you'll see us. We'll be beautifully set up and ready to customize any 20-ounce Coca-Cola with your name or somebody that you love.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
Well, from the cruise industry to boating, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, is weighing in on a boating accident that occurred on Abaco this past Sunday that left 3 American men injured. According to police reports, the men ages 24 and 23 were returning to shore when they lost control of the vessel and crashed into a wall. Cooper says the government is taking all necessary steps to strengthen protocols.
There have been a few incidences across the Bahamas, and we anticipate that during boating seasons, accidents sometimes do happen. When they occur, the Ministry of Tourism goes in overdrive to support the families, to support the victims. Safety, of course, is ultimate priority, but where there is an incident, we kick in a very much supporting role, supporting law enforcement, but most importantly, supporting the families. Generally speaking, we find the Bahamas are generally a safe place to operate, a safe place to visit. We attract more than 11 million guests to our shores, and we regret when there's an incident impacting one of them. So one is too many, but when we attract 12 million, as we anticipate we will do this year, we hope and pray for the best for all of our guests as it relates to accidents, whether by air, road, or sea.
Well, police in Grand Bahama are moving to allay public fears following a recent rape and burglary charge in 8 Mile Rock. While officers insist there's been no surge in crime, they're urging residents to stay alert and take simple steps to protect themselves and their communities. Raven Davis reports.
Just one day after a man was charged with burglary and rape in the 8 Mile Rock court, police are reassuring residents that there's no spike in crime in the district, but say vigilance remains key.
Of course, we have our mind a little house breaking and stuff that happens, throughout the day and stuff, but never to say that we have this mass amount of burglaries in the district that we're concerned about.
Still, the case has caused concern, especially after the accused told the court he was HIV positive during his initial appearance. Now, with summer temperatures soaring, officers are warning that leaving windows open at night makes homes vulnerable.
That's a no-no. We do suggest that you lock your doors and windows every night, installing burglar bars, even surveillance cameras around your residence. Have your homes properly lit at night. And also, we normally have persons who put ferocious dogs or dogs in their premises and have it properly secured.
Now, police say most burglaries are crimes of opportunity and can be avoided with the right precautions. But when danger enters the home, many ask, can I legally defend myself?
When it comes to the Constitution, it permits you to protect your home and your life per se. But, of course, it will be investigated. And the matter will be referred to the GDP for a decision. You must take into note, too, if someone breaks into your home and they are fleeing away from you, then there's no more threat to you. And so if you happens to cause any deadly harm or even serious injury to that person, then there's another cause of action that can be taken.
In the meantime, officers are also urging residents to join neighborhood watch groups, many of which operate on WhatsApp and include police contacts.
For the most part, I know that the ones that I'm a part of, I see where the members, they're very vigilant. They will put in the groups exactly what they see to be suspicious. But now it goes back to of us being, and I say us, I'm speaking about the residents of Grand Bahama particularly, to be more community-minded.
According to police, patrols are continuing across Grand Bahama, and residents are encouraged to take part in crime prevention seminars hosted in partnership with Urban Renewal, where they can share ideas and learn practical safety tips. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thanks, Raven. We need you. That's the passionate call coming from Fatima Kaboub, chairman of Art Lukaya, as thousands of cruise passengers step onto Grand Bahama's shores with the opening of Carnival's Celebration Key. In tonight's City in Motion, the chairman explains how art workshop initiatives could be the gateway to a wave of employment and entrepreneurship.
Anyone can do it from their homes.
You don't need to have a creative or artistic bone in your body. That's the message from Crafters Academy, where hands-on training is giving everyday Bahamians the skills and knowledge to tap into a growing industry, handcrafted souvenirs and artisan goods. With Carnival officials projecting millions of cruise ship passengers by the end of 2027, the potential for local crafters to generate significant income is not just possible, it's expected.
What we're told is the inventory of stuff that they're making for the cruise port is only going to last 2 to 3 weeks if we don't produce faster to keep up with the demand. So we need to feed the machinery. So reaching out to people in the community and say, guys, we need you. So get in, get involved, get on board, do this for yourself, for your family, and you know, it's essential to sustain the growth of the touristic product in Grand Bahama.
The Art Lukaya chairman says this is a massive opportunity for people to step up. It's not just about creating art, it's about creating businesses that can sustain livelihoods.
And this is what Crafters Academy is all about, is no skills, has to be sustainable, things that are out there that we all have access to, that are free, because, you know, one is painfully aware that not everyone has money to start a business, but if you have two hands and you've got the Bahamian spirit, you can do it.
While the Bahamas is no stranger to straw markets and souvenir stalls, Kaboub says the goal isn't to reinvent the wheel, it's to diversify it. By blending traditional Bahamian styles with modern techniques, she believes artisans can stand out in a crowded market.
The bags of today are not going to be bags that you're going to be selling for $50 or $70. They're going to be bags you're going to be selling for $150, $200. This is all to inspire the local craftsmen and the straw work to say, hey, it doesn't have to be flat.
Freeport is no longer just a city of potential. It's becoming a city with purpose. So the next time you talk about Freeport, remember to say it's a city in motion.
still to come.
Summer's here, so are the mosquitoes. One doctor shares the best ways to soothe those itchy bites. That story, sports, and more when we come back.
The Bahamas has been a nation marching for progress. We are more than sunny skies and blue seas. We are a nation filled with purpose, opportunity, and innovation. With each generation, our spirit grows stronger, our dreams brighter, with our banners waving high. Join us as we continue to pass the torch, fostering freedom, progress, opportunity, and innovation for years to come. Happy Independence, Bahamas, from Commonwealth Bank.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Take your business to another level with Flamingo Bahamas Discount Saving Network. Get free TV and radio ads, local and international exposure. For more information, log on to www.flamingobahamas.com. Grand Bahama, Eagle Eye and Preston Knowles production presents, backed by popular demand, A Man's Point of View. The Encore, one night only, July 26 at 8 p.m. at the Regency Theater. Tickets are $40 and are available at the 17 shop and Imagine Graphics.
Have the following supplies on hand at the start of the hurricane season. A minimum 3-day supply of water, which provides 1 gallon of water per person per day. Minimum 3-day supply of non-perishable food items. Flashlights and extra batteries. A battery-powered radio to receive broadcasts that will keep you informed of the storm. A first aid kit. A 7-day supply of any prescribed medication. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
You know that it's been the 8 o'clock hour. That means it's time for the morning run mix. Better known as PJ alongside DJ Future, right? Call me up right now.
DJ Future, this is what you know. I'm locked in. I'm on your run this morning. Keep it coming. Override, override.
I got you.
The morning run mix with DJ Future. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. As summer temperatures rise and climb, rain showers leave behind standing water. Bahamian parents are battling more than just the heat, from mosquito bites that turn into painful bumps to a rise in respiratory illnesses like asthma, flu, and RSV. The warmer months are bringing a wave of health concerns for children. Doctors say early action and awareness are key to keeping your little ones safe this season. Our intern, Aaron Burrows, has that report.
As temperatures rise and summer unfolds, Bahamian parents are facing more than just the heat. From mosquito bites turning into painful bumps to a spike in respiratory illnesses like asthma, the flu, and RSV, children are especially vulnerable during these warmer months. We sat down with Dr. Stacey Bevins-Lang to get expert advice on how to protect your little ones and keep them safe and healthy all summer long.
What happens when the child gets bitten? You want to wash the area with soap and water. You can apply ice, cool pack to it to calm the itching and the swelling down. And you can also use an anti-itch cream. Dressing your children, make sure they wear more long sleeve clothing. Mosquito repellents, preferably DEET. DEET is very good. However, it's only safe in kids over the age of 2 months. We do not use that in babies under 2 months. Also use mosquito coils. Now, unfortunately, patients that have respiratory issues like asthma, they may not be able to use the respiratory coil.
Recent heavy rains have boosted mosquito populations with standing water, creating breeding grounds. Mosquitoes attracted to heat, sweat, and dark clothes can spread illnesses like dengue, chikungunya, Zika, and malaria. Take extra care at dawn and dusk when they're most active. Impetigo, a bacterial skin infection that can look like an infected bite or boil, is also spreading. It's not just the bite, but the disease the mosquito may carry. Therefore, if you notice anything unusual, don't wait, get medical attention immediately.
What you want to avoid in all cases is scratching. When you scratch, it can break the skin. This can lead to further infection, hence the boils, and then you have to come in to the doctor. In some cases, you will have some persons having joint pains or vomiting. That's when they may have another underlying issue that may be a result of the mosquito bite.
Helpful insight there from Dr. Stacy Bevins-Lang on how to stay ahead of common summer health issues. From treating mosquito bites to managing asthma and flu symptoms, a little awareness can make a big difference. As always, early action and proper care are key to keeping our kids safe and well this season. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Aaron Burrows.
Thanks, Aaron. Well, in an effort to boost the tradesman demographic in the workforce, the National Training Agency and BTVI are launching a collaborative initiative that targets persons between the ages of 16 to 26. This free 14-week program is designed to equip young people with necessary soft skills needed in the work world, as there is a shortage of persons with these qualifications.
We have to bridge the skills gap. And so this year is a step forward in helping to bridge that. It's going to take a while to fill it, but the whole idea is to get started. Most of the plumbers are older now, so that's a big gap in there. We need those young people to come in there, learn the plumbing trade, and I guarantee it. You see, if you're a lawyer, your toilet backup, you need a plumber.
Exactly.
The Governor General would need a plumber.
The president of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Dylan Knowles, urges the importance of training but emphasizes the importance of attitude in the workforce.
From a business perspective, attitude is job one, right? Businesses, NTA, BTVI can train you on skills, but you have to bring the right attitude to the table.
And that's a look at stories making news. Jay, what's happening in sports?
Miko, the Junior Pan Am Games and World Juniors Swimming Championships right around the corner. Number of athletes from Grand Bahama was named to that team. Have that story in sports coming up.
All right, sounds exciting. That's coming your way next. But first, a check on the local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Cause it's so beautiful.
Strength isn't claimed, it's built. At Heroic Concrete, every block is made with purpose. Crafted to protect, poured to endure. From ready mix to premium 8-inch blocks, we supply the strength our nation needs. Proudly made in Grand Bahama, built for hurricanes, built for legacy. Creating products to bring value to our lives and strength to our future. Call 820-4376 or email sales@heroicgrouplimited.com.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investments, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than a tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody does it better.
Have the following supplies on hand at the start of the hurricane season. A minimum 3-day supply of water, which provides 1 gallon of water per person per day. Minimum 3-day supply of non-perishable food items. Flashlights and extra batteries. A battery-powered radio to receive broadcasts that will keep you informed of the storm. A first aid kit. a 7-day supply of any prescribed medication. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
This is the best sports show on the island of Grand Bahama. Guys, it's another Thursday. It's now time for Game Changer Radio. Mafia's in the building as usual.
I still believe they still can make a run in the postseason.
How was that the coach's fault? He was the one that said you think it was the right time. Changing the game with Game Changer every Thursday at 10. Me, Eddie, Matthew, bringing the heat, real talk, real sports, real energy. Only on Power 104.5 FM.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. Top in Sports. Zoe Williamson is expected to have a busy month of August. Zoe was recently named to the Junior Pan American and Junior World's Bahamian national swim team. The Pan American Games will be held in Paraguay August 9th to the 23rd, while the World Juniors would follow immediately in Romania August 19th to the 24th.
It's definitely an accomplishment to make all these two of these teams, especially when one has like no age restriction. And training for me has been very vigorous, especially when Coach Eva came back. I was kind of shocked into what I had to do to be able to compete with the people who I'm going to compete against in Paraguay. I also recently started, well, not recently, I used to go to the gym, but the training definitely got more vigorous.
Next in sports, Shockwave Elite had its high school flag 5-on-5 football beach blitz tournament on the weekend at the Grand Lucayan Beach property. In the championship match, the Red squad defeated the Orange squad 27-14 to win the title, led by Shirley Coverly, who was named MVP. And finally, in sports, the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Culture conducted a walkabout on Grand Bahama, visiting various summer camps. Permanent Secretary for the ministry, Neil Campbell, was in town for the tour.
There's similar camps going on through the length and breadth of the Bahamas. And it's the intent of our minister for everyone to know that we fully support them 110%. So as we are visiting and touring those camps in the province, the minister directed that we do also the same thing in Grand Bahama.
And that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Join us for City in Motion, your inside look at the people, progress, and possibilities shaping the city of Freeport. Each week, we bring you the stories behind the movement. Highlighting how the Grand Bahama Port Authority is leading with purpose.
Our desire is to connect Bahamians with the opportunities that's right in front of them.
This is City in Motion.
Here are some tips for having your home ready for a hurricane. Keep all trees and shrubs trimmed. Bring in all outdoor furniture, plants, or any other items that may become airborne due to high winds. Cover windows and doors with hurricane shutters or pre-cut plywood. Clear drains and gutters. And remember to secure important documentation in case you have to evacuate. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
Your number one team in the north. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's a look at stories making news. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
It's Tuesday, Ramiko.
What's going on?
You didn't make it to Gombe last week, Thursday, did you?
Unfortunately, no, I didn't.
We need to be with that. Shashina had summoned us last week.
She lied.
Never showed up. Shashina, you owe us this Thursday, please.
Big time. But that's going to do it for us here in the North. Thanks so much for watching. A live look at the Bahamas tonight is coming your way next.
Tune into the ZNS television network tonight at 9 for the Honorable Keith Bell's closing contribution in the House of Assembly on the Land Reform Bill. That's tonight at 9 on the ZNS television network. Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Catch the highlights of the 54th Annual Long Island Regatta on Regatta Time. Relive the excitement of sailing and see what Long Island has to offer. Catch the highlights of the 54th Long Island Regatta on Regatta Time Long Island Edition, Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lopinder.
Al Cash Primary School Boys Club of Excellence program
is a very beneficial program to the boys because when they are here, I have seen some of our most troubled boys turn around.
We selected a school where you can make an impact from an elementary stage. The program is really to give the young men an outlet to do something different.
There are more times that every child is not academic. They are also technical. And this is one of the clubs that helps to push that because education is very important and we need to bring more people in to encourage our children.
We want to show them that this is a life that they can live. They're exposed to men in the community that are all about making young men better. Crime-free.
Looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
At Centerville, I'm LaDawn Davis. This is ZNS.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, is the Free National Movement imploding? An association chair certainly thinks so. Hear how and why she's backing up the claim. Plus, the latest on troops on the ground in struggling Haiti. And a gap filled. 50 Family Island students blessed with a rare opportunity to learn all they need to know about college readiness, and at zero cost. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. It's not quite Junkanoo season yet, but already there seems to be a battle raging, a battle that could possibly mean no Junkanoo at all, and just on Bay. Corval Pyfrom has tonight's top story.
As if it weren't already a sweltering summer, Junkanooers are now threatening to turn up the heat. The government's announcement of a new bill that would establish what it calls a Junkanoo Authority of the Bahamas, insisting it would depoliticize Junkanoo by removing government from the nation's cultural expression's day-to-day operations. Instead of ovations, though, the announcement is being met with overwhelming pushback from the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, who announced Tuesday that its members, which include groups in Divisions A, B, and D Junkanoo groups, are with immediate effect suspending all Junkanoo-related activities across the capital, clarifying that while the suspension is in effect, the only activities allowed will be memorial services, fundraisers, and civic events, noting that those events must have prior approval. The JCNP's objection, it appears, seems to be from an apparent lack of consultation, though its statement doesn't explicitly say that. The government issuing a response to the JCNP's actions saying, quote, "It is regrettable that the JCNP has chosen to misrepresent the intent of the government and politicize a process that is rooted in transparency, consultation, and national development. Junkanoo, it says, belongs to the Bahamian people, not to any single group or island, and the government has a constitutional responsibility to ensure its future is secured, its reach expanded, and its potential fully realized," the statement concludes. This is the latest in the Junkanoo saga, which fans will recall started with last year's fallout of the Valley Boys group, which ultimately led to a split of that Division A legacy group. A rift so deep, eventually the government got involved, and ultimately a court ruling was needed to bring about some form of resolve. On the sidelines this go-round, Junkanooers are hoping this fight ends even before the dog-hot days of summer do. Gravel Pyfrom for the Bahamas Tonight.
Well, from one hot-button issue to another, the data reportedly says one thing, the party another. The constant head-butting within the rank and file of the Free National Movement said to be putting not only a seat in southern New Providence in jeopardy, but the FNM's chances at victory at the polls. Just listen in.
Is the FNM imploding, in your view?
Has imploded already.
Chair of the FNM's Bamboo Town Association, Monique Seymour, says that's how serious it is right now within the Free National Movement. Spilling all the beans during her appearance Monday on the ZNS talk show The Rundown, Seymour recounted how and why the FNM's top brass has openly rejected former cabinet minister and Bamboo Town MP Renwood Wells to run on the party's ticket in the next general elections. And this despite gauging the temperature on the ground in that area.
The data was too good for Mr. Renwood Wells for the overwhelming support that people want Mr. Wells back in the Bamboo Town constituency.
They wanted him back.
They wanted him back, especially the older folks. When you knock on those doors, that people that own homes, not the apartments, because people move in and out, the homes. The 50 age bracket to like 80, 90-year-old, those are the persons like were crying for Mr. Wells. When he come, they were just grabbing onto him like, you back, you know? So we gave them our reports, we gave them our overview. Then they sent their coordinators that the leadership team picked.
Wow.
And they sent them into the constituency unbeknown to us. And they got good reports as well, that all was well in Bamboo Town.
The findings were reportedly laid bare to the FNM Council last Thursday. According to Seymour, the next day Wells was called in and after 4 hours was told he would not get the nomination. The FNM's leadership reportedly cited health reasons. As Seymour tells it, this despite U.S. doctors giving the former MP a clean bill of health. There were the added arguments, she says, that no one wanted Wells and that he wasn't financially secure.
The truth is, they don't want to run him.
Seymour claims FNM leader Michael Pintard later admitted he never planned to run Wells. The FNM is instead looking at former FNM Senator Heather Hunt to carry its banner in Bamboo Town. However, Seymour promised to not walk the ground for anyone other than Renwood Wells.
I would want him to go independent against the FNM. It's either going to be Mr. Wells or it'll be the PLP.
Now, tight-lipped on the issue, Renwood Wells told our news team he'll reserve his comments at least until the party executes its constitutional process for ratification. That process calls for the candidate nomination to first be made by a constituency association. However, based on party rules, its executive committee will not ratify or nominate any candidate until all nominees are reviewed. Now, the FNM's deputy leader, Shannon Cartwright, is scheduled to appear as a guest on The Rundown with Clint Watson on Wednesday evening. Well, it's been nearly a year since Bahamian troops were first deployed as part of that multinational effort to stabilize Haiti. The Royal Bahamas Defense Forces Commodore sat with us in an exclusive interview at the Ministry of National Security, where he provided an update on the country's continued support and presence on the ground in that troubled island nation. Lyle Maycock has the story.
We are actively monitoring developments on the ground in Haiti, especially as the current United Nations mandate on Haiti is set to expire in October.
In a rare one-on-one interview, the newly minted Commodore Floyd Moxey reaffirmed the Bahamas' security commitment to Haiti, where 3 Bahamian officers are stationed. This as the situation in Haiti continues to worsen.
They are working closely with the CARICOM and international partners to support the Haitian National Police in their effort to help restore peace and stability.
The Bahamas initially pledged 150 Marines to assist the Kenyan-led, UN-supported multinational security force. However, the violence persists as Haitian gangs appear relentless and now control more than 80% of Port-au-Prince and many areas of the countryside. Our recent advisories warn against travel advisories in and around Haiti. Officials say military operations continue. Regarding the 3 officers in Haiti, Commodore Moxey said this.
We are satisfied that their well-being being taken care of. Regarding the situation in Haiti, we understand the concern it may raise, particularly for our deployed personnel, their families, and by extension the wider Bahamian community. But it is important to clarify that this advisory is intended for civilian travel and private business activity.
And more officers could be deployed.
They are doing the United Nations human rights training. They are doing all the medical vetting, just in case that we are directed to deploy, that we will be in a position to do so.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force remains committed to supporting regional stability as officials monitor the situation in Haiti and prepare for any shifts on ground. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lyle Maycock.
Well, thanks, Lyle. Coming up, the DPM responds to an IMF report on tourism revenue. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. That and more in a moment.
Bahamas has been a nation marching for progress. We are more than sunny skies and blue seas. We are a nation filled with purpose, opportunity, and innovation. With each generation, our spirit grows stronger, our dreams brighter, with our banners waving high. Join us as we continue to pass the torch, fostering freedom, progress, opportunity, and innovation for years to come. Happy Independence, Bahamas, from Commonwealth Bank.
Hi, I know you weren't expecting to see me here. Now you can find your favorite chicken and snacks in the same place. It's true. Come on in.
Introducing the Doritos Kentucky Chicken Sandwich, a delicious combination of KFC's juicy original recipe extra large filet, stacked with real Doritos nacho cheese chips for a loud, cheesy crunch in every bite. It's bold, it's crunchy, and it's only $8.95. KFC and Doritos, a crunch that's finger-licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
When your hands are too full, life is just too complicated. Nala, Sally, come here. Uncomplicate. Go faster, safer, greener with the digital way to pay. With Tap to Pay, it's as easy as a gentle touch. No more headaches. Say hello to convenience. The future of pay is digital with options like credit cards, debit cards, online banking, and digital wallets. Make every experience unforgettable. Embrace the ease of digital payments today.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole
whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahama's Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Well, you're looking at a shot there, an aerial shot rather, of the lighthouse just off New Providence. That shot courtesy of Kyson Miller. Welcome back. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Chester Cooper, is brushing off concerns and warnings from the IMF about the government's so-called overstating of visitor spending in the country. The International Monetary Fund is sounding the alarm recently that the country's reliance on outdated surveys and assumptions could distort balance payments and even risk overstating tourism's contribution to the economy. While DPM Cooper takes a more measured view.
I would need to have a greater dialogue with the IMF about what they perceive. We are confident in the work that we are doing. I believe the IMF had some question or concern about the questionnaires being used. There is room for enhancing those questions. The beauty of the work we're doing is that it's an evolution.
Cooper remains confident strategies are in place that will improve current reporting systems.
We are launching very shortly the digital immigration card. What this is going to do is to really process the landing of our guests real time. And on departure, it's going to send them a survey. So this survey with new questions will cause there to be a more automated approach. It's an opportunity for enhancement, and we're not sitting on our hands. We're working steadily.
Meantime, a string of recent mishaps out at sea by visitors prompting Deputy Prime Minister and Tourism Minister Chester Cooper to go on the defensive. The DPM stressing how serious the government takes the safety of both residents and visitors alike, but cautions individuals must ensure they are responsible as well.
But we have engaged the police, defense, and all agencies of government to ensure a consolidated approach to the enhancement of the product, enhancement really of the services provided by jet skis in the first instance, but also boating generally. There have been a few incidences across the Bahamas, and we anticipate that during boating seasons, accidents sometimes do happen. When they occur, the Ministry of Tourism goes in overdrive to support the families, to support the victims. Safety, of course, is ultimate priority, but where there is an incident, we kick in a very much supporting role.
Just this past Sunday, 3 men, all visitors, were injured in a boating accident off the coast of Treasure Key. The incident prompted an emergency response from authorities on Abaco. Fortunately, those men are expected to recover. While still talking tourism tonight, our Lloyd Allen recently spent some time with visitors to Los Angeles who shared their thoughts on the possibility of engaging direct flights to the Bahamas. Listen in. Well, in other news, housing officials eyeing vacant land for the growing demand for affordable housing here in the capital. Fern Carey has the story.
As much as these ladies love the ocean, it's time to dive into something different. An authentic Bahamian experience with food, friends, and fun. Host Leslie Pinder has been a people-to-people ambassador for nearly 3 decades.
We prepared an authentic Bahamian meal. Fish, chicken, macaroni, a salad. You know, there's always a vegetarian in the group. So we prepared, tofu and skewers, tofu kebabs for the vegetarians, and fever grass iced tea, kumbe punch, kalek, you name it.
Alana Velicott tells us how this group of women came to enjoy People to People.
And we're all here because we're celebrating the Ministry of Tourism's inaugural Women's Dive Week
in celebration of PADI, an international certifying agency for scuba diving, they have a PADI Women's Dive Day on July 18th. But of course, we got to do it bigger and better in the Bahamas, and it's an entire week of diving with a group of 20 girls, and it's been nothing less but fantastic.
And social media star Gabby Shepard of Black Girl Blue World was among them.
The beauty of the land, the people, the ocean, the water's so warm and clear. It was a good experience. Before this trip, I had never really thought of the Bahamas as a place where maybe I would take people, just because I had such a very specific experience and I didn't know how that would work for a broader group. But now being here with the people and everyone's so warm and welcoming, the dives are amazing. There's wall dives, there's sharks. Anytime there's sharks, people automatically want to come.
Here's the Ministry of Tourism's Bernadette Bastian.
We thought to take them out of the resort environment, take them from the swimming pool and bring them into a local home to have an authentic Bahamian experience. We've been having Bahamians showcase the authentic side of the Bahamas and welcoming visitors into their home, extending the warm Bahamian hospitality to them for 50 long years.
You can come to the Bahamas for the sun, sand, and sea, but to get the real Bahamian story, you have to do it people to people. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Oh, we do apologize. That was our Felicity Darville with a report on the People to People program. We now go to that report from our Fern Carey on an update on housing here in New Providence.
The government amplifying its housing initiative in the inner city in order to meet the high demand of people seeking affordable homes. Housing Minister, the Honorable Keith Bell, says thousands of residents are still waiting to realize their dream of home ownership, with more than 2,500 people applying for government homes this year alone. The minister revealed that steps are now being taken to legally acquire the abundance of vacant land in the inner city for public use.
So what it means is that where properties are sitting in a number of areas, a number of them have derelict buildings, a number of them have old vehicles. The best example I can think of right now is through Ruberdane Lane. If you go through Ruberdane Lane, you take the first corner on the right of Ponciana, it's called Pratt's Alley. It's about an acre of property in there, but it's littered with a number of derelict vehicles, abandoned vehicles, and abandoned buildings at the end. We're looking to compulsory acquire that tract of land, and I can say we can put about 10 homes inside there.
The initiative is also aimed at revitalizing those inner city communities.
Is in many of these areas, we have persons who may have died. They may not have had a will, or they may not have had an offspring, so the property just sits there. And so the properties now have resulted in the areas becoming depraved. We see a lot of social decay where persons are now using the properties for dumping, for the storage of old vehicles. A number of the buildings have had fires. They've been destroyed by fire, and they're just there in these inner city areas.
Minister Bell assured that in instances where the government acquires private property, the landowners will be fully compensated.
We can't just take somebody's land and do not compensate them. And so they will be fully compensated for the property wherever we acquire. And once we do that, we then go in there and clean the property, and be able to then construct affordable housing for the population.
Potential homeowners are also being urged to be patient and to continue exercising financial prudence so that when the opportunity comes to get a home, they are able to do so. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
In 2010, a grant helped Bahamas striping group of companies get started. Today, that seed has grown into a national force, building roads, airports, and brighter futures. Now, we're leading the way through public-private partnerships, what we call 3 Ps. where government vision meets private sector innovation. 3Ps empowers local subcontractors, giving them the chance to bid. And with every contract, we're putting money directly into communities, creating jobs, supporting families, and fueling growth. From roads in Eleuthera to community centers in the inner city, we're not just laying asphalt, we're laying foundations for financial opportunity. At Bahama Striping Group of Companies, we believe in building more than infrastructure. We're building up Bahamians who build the Bahamas. 3Ps, public-private partnerships for people, progress, and prosperity.
Are you straight? Bro, I ain't getting no service. I can't make no calls. I can't post nothing on my stories. I don't get it.
Wait, you on a live? Shad, come, let's fix that. Come. This one needs saving. Pour them over, please.
Say less. Sign up today. Enjoy 5 gigs on us with select prepaid plans when you port your number to Alive, or 3 months free Alive Fiber services when you port your landline.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Well, some advice for you. Be prepared. An hours-long service disruption will leave water and sewage customers with reduced pressure beginning at 10 tonight until 5 Wednesday morning. Now, WSC officials say the temporary disruption is to facilitate preventative maintenance at the Blue Hills pumping station. The corporation apologizes for the inconvenience. Well, Marlena and Royston are standing by to give us a sneak peek of what's coming up in Access Now.
Well, Makashla, we've actually got a pretty exciting show tonight. We've got 2 live guests. We've got Chef Mark. We also have illusionist Rob Lake, who I'm pretty sure, Royston, you've seen one of his shows before, right?
I went to him in 2015, and the show was fantastic. While I have illusions of grandeur, he is a real illusionist.
You can see what he's been up to for the past 10 years.
I'm sure it's only gotten bigger and better since then, of course.
Yeah. Royston, I'm jealous. But stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight continues after this.
Diet-friendly special.
Wait. What you doing, man?
Oh, you didn't know it? Popeye's giving up the $5,000 for summer, dog.
Stop that!
All you gotta do is purchase a NOLA box, any Popeye's location. You can even enter online to win a NOLA box. What that is? That's a chicken sandwich, 2 tenders, fries, apple pie, drink for $13.95.
Hey, ladies, where's the Dave? Oh, okay, thanks.
Greg, what's up?
Ready, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. He's meditating. You gotta give him at least an hour.
All right, well, I can wait. I got nothing to do. Pin the tile sale now on True Independent.
Did you know you could send a local bank transfer to a $1 wallet? It's the same as sending a transfer to an account at another local bank. Simply use the wallet's 12-digit top-up address as the account number, savings as the account type, Central Bank of the Bahamas as the bank, and $1 as the branch with branch code or transit number 12,000. Don't use urgent or priority delivery. Transfers to $1 wallets are processed through the Bahamas Automated Clearinghouse Network within 1 business day.
And a grateful bunch they are. Under the tutelage of a philanthropic organization, a group of Family Islanders are taking intentional next steps toward their professional careers. Danielle Dean tells us more.
When it comes to college readiness, Family Island students may not have as many opportunities as those students here in the capital. But through their Family Island Leadership Program, Life for Key Foundations is doing their part to reshape this reality.
I didn't really think I would ever get an opportunity like this, so I really want to take advantage of it, and I'm very grateful.
15-year-old Divine Williams of St. George's High School in Grand Bahama. She's just one of 50 Family Island students participating in the week-long program. Shade Cargill, program consultant for Life for Key Foundation, says so far the teens have learned about the college application and essay writing process.
This week they can expect to take personal finance literacy classes, learning how to write a resume, college and career field trips. So they did a tour with University of the Bahamas.
The University Lecture Theatre served as the students' classroom, where guest speaker Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas General Manager Clint Watson left a message built on 3 Ps: purpose, potential, and power.
It's purpose. I know who I am. I know what I'm designed to be and what I'm called to do. Potential is what you need to keep you going until you manifest where you got to be. Power is your engine. Power gives you control over your destiny.
Along with feeling they've found a resource they can always lean on and a network they can always reach out to, Cargill and team hope the youngsters return to their respective islands this Saturday changed and prepared individuals.
We hope that they leave this program feeling more confident in what they want to do when it comes to high school, when it comes to beyond high school.
Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, good job there, Danielle. That does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Praise Break 2025 is coming. Nassau, get ready for an experience like none other. Humble John Entertainment presents Praise Break 2025 featuring Kevin Dowswell.
Nassau, Bahamas. It's your boy Kevin Dowswell. I am coming. I can't wait to see you for Praise Break 2025.
Bree Babadoo.
Hey everybody, it's Bree Babadoo. Listen, I will be in Nassau, Bahamas on August the 9th at the Nassau, Bahamas Cruise Port.
Shara J, Johnny Gibson, Thea Johnson, E-Man, Jeanette Hepburn, Nikisha Barnes, TJ Gunson, and the Queen of Gospel, Pastor Shirley Caesar.
Hello, Nassau, Bahamas. I'm Pastor Shirley Caesar, and I'm so excited.
Live in concert, Saturday, August 9th at the Amphitheater at the Nassau Cruise Port. Tickets are now on sale and online at ticketjunkies.com. VIP is $100 for platinum seating, tables, and sky lounges. Call 816-2175. Praise Break 2025 featuring the Queen of Gospel, Pastor Shirley Caesar. You don't want to miss it.
The Mahogany Club in the British Colonial Hotel is now open for business. Our Desmond Saunders was on the scene, so stay close for that.
Plus, a local doctor has created a new chapter in her life, another dream realized, and the doors have been opened.
And coming up in sports, the son of former Bahamian NFL standout hoping to carry on his father's legacy.
The Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Absolutely. We have a newscast packed, and I'm talking jam-packed with fun. Marlena, a magician is set to be here in studio.
Yes, and we have an exotic chef in tow as well.
That sounds fantastic. I'm looking forward to both, if I'm being honest. Let's get this party started and dive right into the news. A new spot now open for local diners who can enjoy favorite Bahamian dishes with a unique twist. Scores of foodies turning out to the British Colonial Hotel for the grand opening of the Mahogany Club. Our Desmond Saunders was there.
Some are calling it the latest culinary crown jewel of the British Colonial Hotel. The new Mahogany Club whipping up uniquely crafted Bahamian delicacies with an elevated edge. Marketing manager at the British Colonial Hotel, Shalyn Gaudette.
Everything here is uniquely Bahamian and also Bahamian with a nice twist. And so you'll see potato salad done in a totally different way that you've never seen before. You'll see our day bowl snapper with peas and grits, something that you can't get anywhere else and done in a way that you've never seen before. You'll see cover duff done just like our grandma used to make it in the pillowcase, things that you can't get anywhere else.
The hotel's food and beverage director, Aaron Moss, says a lot of work went into creating this authentic experience. He's applauding the work of partners for the restaurant's launch.
Everything we do with community in mind. If you look around tonight, you'll see a lot of our partners here tonight who we work with, from John Watlin's team, from Bristol Cellars to Commonwealth Brewery, Tasty Teas. Everything we do in terms with our community is in mind. From our brunches that we have with our churches, from our school events, we have movie night, we have our soirees, everything with the public in mind, the community in mind.
The dining experience also includes a wide array of creative cocktails, amazing ocean views, and to top it off, the club's native ambiance. Executive manager of the British Colonial Hotel, Lanaire Reming, says each drink and dish is crafted to celebrate native ingredients in innovative ways.
What we are doing is we are reimagining what Bahamian cuisine is in fine dining. So we're really excited. We have all Bahamian leadership team. We have a Bahamian executive chef, and we are reimagining what Bahamian cuisine is in the Bahamian market space.
Cheers to a new beginning and a new Bahamian dining experience. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
A new chapter for healthcare opened by a Bahamian doctor who entered the arena by shattering the glass ceiling. Desmond Saunders has the story.
An amazing story of grit and sacrifice and the journey of a young Bahamian woman who has defied the odds to achieve the Bahamian dream. After years in the Angliston over-the-hill community, physician and CEO of Mount Olive Medical Center, Dr. Katroya Oliver, opened a second medical facility in Western New Providence.
And we started from very humble beginnings on Robinson Road and 4th Street on the corner. It was my grandmother who willed me the building. And with her passing, I continued her legacy of being a woman of color in business. Yeah, so it's strong roots, long story. So now we've expanded out to the Western District.
The healthcare facility is equipped with modern amenities. It houses 4 specialty physicians, providing a comprehensive range of urgent medical services and obesity medical treatment.
The property manager here approached me about a year ago asking if I'd be interested in doing a second location with them. I thought about it. I wasn't sure. I was afraid, but I said, you know what? Let's do it.
Wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, says a new center is a testament to the physician's visionary leadership and tireless dedication.
You talk about a hard-working young woman and dedication. You're looking at Dr. Katroya Oliver. This is her second location, right? You know how much dedication that takes and the vision to know that what's needed throughout our country. Because she's already in another location, and so she knows where the population shift is happening in the West. She knows what the country needs.
Now relishing in her new feat, Dr. Oliver eyeing plans for the family Allens.
My roots are in Andros, so I think Andros needs some attention. There is a great family medicine center there now, a private one, but Andros is our biggest island, right? So Andros needs some love, so I have my eye on Andros.
A new chapter for healthcare in the Bahamas and another Bahamian female physician shattering the glass ceiling. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
Still to come, Rob Lake, the illusionist, exotic chef Mark, and our weatherman Basil Dean are all up next after the break. So stay close.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind. Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, Shop Smart, and Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Catch the highlights of the 54th Annual Long Island Regatta on Regatta Time. Relive the excitement of sailing and see what Long Island has to offer. Catch the highlights of the 54th Long Island Regatta on Regatta Time Long Island Edition, Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. on the ZNS Television Network. Tune into the ZNS Television Network tonight at 9 for the Honorable Keith Bell's closing contribution in the House of Assembly on the Land Reform Bill. That's tonight at 9 on the ZNS Television Network.
It's time now for your Access Weather Forecast. We get you started with our satellite, our radar discussion, and we do have some pockets of showers working its way across the northwest Bahamas. That is in response to an upper level low that is moving westward across the area, but most of these showers are taking place over the open waters of the Bahamas. And our boating forecast tonight, well, it's brought to you by Live Business, where we simply bulk up your business. In the northwestern parts of our country tonight, southeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots. Those wave heights, they're going to be around 2 to 4 feet with your low tide taking place at 1:20 in the morning. And as we take you into the central and southeastern parts of the country tonight, the winds east to southeast, 12 to 18 knots, the wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So we're asking small craft to exercise caution in the central and southeastern islands tonight. And as we move into Wednesday and Thursday of this week, the winds are going to pick up in the northwest and central islands, increasing to 12 to 18 knots, also out of the southeast. Wave heights building 3 to 6 feet. So we will once again post that caution flag for the northwest and central islands on Wednesday and Thursday. Now, tide-wise, it's going to be high at 7:05 in the morning with the low tide at 1:11 in the afternoon. And for the southeast Bahamas, Wednesday and Thursday, southeasterly winds at 15 to 20 knots, very rough seas. They're going to be about 4 to 6 feet over the ocean, so small craft is also in effect for the southeast Bahamas. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Shot. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. Royston?
Thanks so much, Basil. Now, it's not every day I get to sit on set with a real live illusionist. Tonight, we welcome Rob Blake to our set. Welcome back to the Bahamas, and welcome.
Well, thanks for having me here. It's great to be back in the Bahamas and great to be here for the first time.
Absolutely. So glad to have you. Now, if I can start by asking you, Rob, what got you into being an illusionist? How long have you been in?
So I've done it most of my life. When I was just 10 years old, I saw a magic show, and I knew that day I wanted to be an illusionist. And I was programmed and downloaded it as a kid with my life's goal.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. And what's been your greatest feat to date, as would you say, as an illusionist?
You know, I'd say overall, since I've been able to travel the world and follow my dreams, that's my biggest feat. You know, we've done some pretty exciting things. You know, one thing, I'm performing in Atlantis again, as you know.
Yes.
And it's been 10 years here, but I had been mailing them my videos and trying to get there for almost, 15 years before they finally booked me. So that was a huge feat and accomplishment, too. Wow. To get to keep coming back here to the Bahamas is a pretty big, exciting career.
It's a beautiful paradise, of course. In
Absolutely.
fact, I saw you in July 2015. I think
that was our first time. That was our first time 10
show?
years ago, yeah. That would be our first show here.
It was an incredible show then. I'm sure it's only gotten bigger and better since then, of course.
Absolutely. This is the first time in these 10 years we've been here. You know, we've been here about 7 of the last 10 years that we've made significant and really major changes to the show with a lot of new illusions that I've been developing for the last 10 years.
That's incredible. Are we doing any magic by chance tonight?
We are. You ready?
Wow. Excited.
So you want to play along?
Of course.
Okay,
yeah.
great. I have
put these down.
Yep, put this down. I have a deck of cards here, and you're going to kind of be the volunteer for everybody at home, so you can all see this here.
That sounds good.
You can see they're all different. Yeah, all these cards different, right?
Okay.
I'm going to give you just about half these cards. Take these, put one hand on top like that.
One hand on top.
Yeah, hold them there like that.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to spread the cards in my hand, and I want you to just pick one of the cards that I have in my hand. Don't touch it. Don't tell me. Don't say it out loud. Don't even look for a card. But I just want you'll see why in a moment. It's important you actually see it's in my hands here.
I'm looking at the cards.
Yeah, I'm going to spread them out. And you just pick one. So don't say I got one. Just, let me know whether if you've chosen one. Just choose one with your mind and just let me know if you've picked one here.
Got one.
Okay. Now, if I could just name your card, that'd be pretty cool. But honestly,
very cool.
Anticlimactic, kind of boring, short. Now, if you told me the name of your card and then I made it magically disappear,
yes,
that'd be impossible. But if I can make your card completely disappear without you even telling me the name of your card, well, now we're talking.
We're turning up the heat now.
I want you to focus on your card. Just visualize it. Don't say it. Just focus on it. Just visualize it right now.
Okay.
Visualize how you just saw it in my hands.
Yes.
And visualize it just disappearing in my hands.
Got it.
Did you feel that happen?
I felt something.
I still don't know your card.
Okay.
I want you to look here. Tell me, do you see your card? Do you see your card?
I do not see my card, no. This is getting interesting. I do not see the card.
Any idea where your card could have gone?
It would be impossible for it to be in my hands.
Look in your hands. For the first time, say out loud what card you're thinking of.
I'm thinking of the 2 of spades. No way. No way! Hey! Do you see that?
Just like that.
Rob, that's incredible.
It's a lot of fun.
That's incredible. How? No.
Magic.
A magician never reveals.
Never reveals, so.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Rob. It was an absolute pleasure having you, and this was an incredible experience. Of course, please go and see Rob Blake over at the Atlantis Resort. Let's check in with ZNS Total Sports to see what's on tap.
And DeVar Darling Jr. hoping to follow in his father's footsteps. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, The Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
Welcome to your Tuesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. Topping sport, his father enjoyed a stellar NFL career with the Ravens and Chiefs. Now DeVar Darling Jr. is trying to carve out his own legacy while still following in the footsteps of his NFL wide receiver dad. The 3-star recruit recently announced his commitment to the University of New Mexico. Our intern Swanson Gibson Jr. caught up with him just ahead of his freshman campaign.
17-year-old DJ Darling is set to embark on a new journey, looking to solidify his name within the annals of American football. The 6-foot wide receiver recently committed to the University of New Mexico Lobo, looking to dominate on the turf this fall. He spoke about what went into his decision-making and expectations for the upcoming semester.
They were one of the only schools to offer me like the official visit, and you know the head coach gave me my first offer when he was at Idaho. Then he moved there, went to New Mexico, and he was my first 2 Division I offers. And then just taking the visit, it was it was really all I needed. Like everything I needed was there. All the coaches, I like all the coaches and staff, and facilities were nice, and they looked like they were turning things around. So that's the reason I chose New Mexico. I am graduating early, so I will be going in early, like July 1st, so I could go for the workouts and first spring ball. So like just so I could get a feel for everything and know all the plays and everything before the actual season. It kind of just helps me kind of boost forward. But as of right now, three senior receivers are leaving, and I'm just gonna go in and put my head down and work and just try to get some playing time. But I am on full scholarship, so not walking on or anything. So that's what it is.
DJ is the son of Bahamian and former NFL wideout DeVar Darling, who was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2004 NFL Draft by the Baltimore Ravens. He would spend 5 seasons in the NFL altogether, also playing with the Kansas City Chiefs from 2008 to 2009. DJ talks about the impact and significance of his father's accomplishments.
It had a big impact for me because, growing up watching that, it was it's just really something like I could look up to. And, he's given me throughout the years so much advice on what to do in the game. And he's given me all the tools and everything to succeed at this next level. He's definitely a big inspiration in Bahamian culture, and just him doing that, it just paves the way, and he just inspires a lot of people through that way, and he inspires me to keep going, and to carry on the legacy. So, yeah.
In Darling's best season to date, he picked up 43 receptions, 9 touchdowns, spanning 721 yards, and looks to bring a breath of fresh air to his new squad. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Swansea Gibson Jr.
That's a look at your sports on this Tuesday. Until tomorrow, I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Tune into the ZNS television network tonight at 9 for the Honorable Keith Bell's closing contribution in the House of Assembly on the Land Reform Bill. That's tonight at 9 on the ZNS television network.
You're looking at a shot of the National Art Gallery there near downtown Nassau and adjacent to the historic Grey Cliff property. This gallery is the home of Bahamian art, and the shot is courtesy of Mr. Kyson Miller. Well, it's time to take a flight down to Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera. Let's go.
The Hippie Dock, a quiet landmark in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, was destroyed by Hurricane Lloyd in 1999. Well, it's officially being rebuilt 25 years later. Located in the heart of the harbor, the dock was a well-known spot before the storm swept it away. Construction is now underway, restoring a piece of local history and bringing new life to the Governor's Harbor waterfront. And whether you remember it from past years or you're just getting to know it, the Hippie Dock is making its return, and with it, a small but meaningful piece of Eleuthera's past. And we're certainly excited about it. Marlena?
That's some great news for Governor's Harbor, Royston. Well, the ever so exotic chef Mark joins us tonight, and he's no stranger to Access Now. Welcome once again.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Now, we've already had the Magic Man here tonight, but we understand you're going to be cooking something up or chefing something up for us.
Indeed, yes, ma'am.
Now, before we get into that, can you just walk us through why did you want to become a chef? What inspired you to go down that route?
Well, from a very young age, I found myself helping my mom, doing like Christmas, New Year's dinner, grating the cheese, mixing the batter.
Those are high responsibility
Yes.
dinners for you to decide you're going to help with too.
And of course, I was a chubby kid, and I liked to eat, so, I just, fell in love with the kitchen, and it became a passion of mine as I grew older. Always used to watch the Food Network, sit down, write recipes, and try them out.
And I feel like that station always made me hungry, so all that's
Yes.
going to do is inspire you to do more.
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
you chose to focus more on exotic dishes. I feel like a lot of chefs go in and decide they're going to do like French cuisine, traditional. Why did you decide to go down the exotic route? Why be different?
Well, for me, it's pretty much bringing a twist to the Bahamian cuisine and, carrying our regular menu items that you will see, the peas and rice, the fried snapper, crack conch, and just bringing a twist to it with food and dessert and fusing different cuisines as well.
Now,
Yes.
hearing that, what are you going to be making for us tonight?
So tonight we have what I call the I ain't a conch plate. And so it's a Bahamian phrase, of course, saying a conch is someone that's usually slow or being misused, however. But what we did is play on 3 dishes where a conch would be the star ingredient, which is a conch salad. And I replaced the conch with fresh coconut.
Okay.
And
so that's a no for me,
Yes.
as you guys know. But that
Stay
sounds
far away, yes. And so, yes, a tropical conch salad, well, coconut salad, but replacing the coconut, the conch with the coconut. And then we also did a play on the crack conch, but instead of using conch, we use alligator meat.
Now, Chef Mark, where are we finding alligators?
The lake right there.
Okay.
Well, yes, there's a company called Seafood Genie. They bring in the alligator meat.
It must be magic.
Yes, yes. And so it's like a combination of pork and conch and fish.
I was going to say, how would you describe that? Okay, well, I mean, that sounds
Yes.
delicious to me.
And then with the conch fritter, we did a crab fritter using crab is in season, so our land crab meat, using that as the replacement for the conch in the conch fritter.
Now, do you ever cook any normal dishes? Or?
Yes, we do. Bean and rice, barbecue ribs, baked chicken, and all of that good stuff. But of course, what usually gets the attention is the, unique twist.
Yeah, because I mean, that's a bragging point. You think you're a foodie. Have you had an alligator fritter?
Yes.
Like, if not, I need you to sit
And a few weeks ago, we offered it and persons loved it.
Amazing.
Yes.
I want to offer some to Royston because I know I can't have a couple of these because I have allergies, for those who don't know, but it smells really good. So I'm going to let you.
I heard alligator and I came right?
Usually I would run away if I heard alligator.
Right?
But this time I'm like, it looks really tender.
I tried a piece in New Orleans. This was 2 years ago, and thoroughly enjoyed it. So an alligator conch fritter, correct?
No, crack alligator.
Crack alligator?
Yes. So the actual meat, we tenderize it, just like how you would do a crack conch. Dipped it in flour and fried it.
I'm all in.
We paired it with a...
I'm all in.
You try.
We paired it with a gold pepper aioli.
And it's spicy? Oh.
Yes.
Bring it on down. Bring it on
Yes. So
Let's
I'll
give it a
let
go.
you try a piece here. Sorry, I don't have a napkin here
That's
for
fine.
you.
Thank you, sir. Let's give this a go. So crack.
That sounds juicy.
It's really tender. Really crunchy. And as far as like the consistency, I'm enjoying that.
There you
Then
go.
This is really good.
I have one more for
really
you.
good.
The
I'm gonna
tropical.
can I put this right here?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And what's this?
The tropical coconut salad. It's a
Tropical
play on our
coconut
conch
salad.
salad, yes.
Would this be considered vegan in that case?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Something for everybody.
Yes.
Except me, who's
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
I'll take one for the team. So I'm
Thank you.
saving more for the crew so that everybody can try some.
Excellent. I'm a big fan of coconut
Compare
salad.
it to anything.
It tastes like
It's
a
what it
tropical
sounds
conch
like,
salad.
yeah.
It's just the consistency of the coconut's probably a little bit more crunchy.
Yes.
Other than that, delicious.
There you go.
Chef Mark, you've done it again.
Yes, thank you.
Done it again. I'm going to steal this away from you.
You still have to try the crab fritter.
I do? Okay. let's do
Yes.
it.
Oh, yes. Oh.
I got hooked on that. This is the crab fritter now?
Yes. And this is with a coconut again. Oh boy, this is a coconut calypso sauce.
No one's counting calories today.
You
right?
planned this, so you would be able to eat everything.
I made some allowances.
Yeah. Oh.
That
looks so yes, again, it sounds delicious, it looks delicious. I'm gonna have to steal some of these recipes from you.
Yes.
But obviously modified.
Without the coconut, yes.
Yeah, and then
Barring this one for sure. And the coconut salad.
Yes.
We'll talk later.
Yes.
Amazing. I feel like we should let Basil have some, but we'll have to do that afterwards.
I'll let you down.
Oh man, now before we go, if you had to pick one of these to keep on your menu, which one would it be?
I'll be the croc alligator. Yes, because like I said, it's unique. And so persons like alligator meat, where do you get it from? And yeah, it's really good, nice and tender.
Absolutely.
And you could be, used just as how you would use a conch. Yes, I also did a chowder with it as well. So just how you would use conch, I use the alligator.
Well, there you go. Honestly, look, if people weren't so excited to see Let's Talk Socials next, I'd be right here just pulling everybody in to taste everything else. But we up bigger up every night, so we have to go to Mateo. But thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna have to have you back, and next time I'm gonna make sure that you don't get to him first, and I get some food that I can eat.
I apologize in advance. Of course, we're gonna check in with
Mateo Cunningham.
Mateo Cunningham for Let's Talk Socials.
Thank you so much, Chef Mark.
Okay, I know we can all relate to today's Let's Talk Socials topic. Living in the Bahamas comes with seeing the most beautiful beaches, eating the most flavorful foods, and celebrating a truly unique culture. It also, unfortunately, comes with pretty pricey grocery store runs. Since a lot of our food items are imported, they're usually more expensive than what you'd see in places like the United States or Canada. With that being said, when we travel to places like the US, we usually bring back some wholesale items because of the noticeably cheaper prices. Some people send them back on the boat, while others clear them through customs after arriving on the plane. Social media user Nikki B packed hers in her suitcase. Check it out. Costco, Walmart, BJ's, and Wholesale Foods should be very familiar with Bahamians by now. If they aren't already, it's almost tradition to bring back a goodie or 2 or 50 when returning home from a trip. Nikki brought back the snacks and treats she just couldn't leave without, like many of us have done before. With the video at over 2,000 likes and 75,000 views, let's just say she's trending. I'm Matea, and this has been Let's Talk Socials. We'll chat tomorrow.
That does it for Access Now for tonight. Join us tomorrow night for Leno's Wealth-Wise Financial Tips, a topic that's very close to my heart.
Oh, yeah. Well, stay tuned for the rundown with Clint Watson. The political roundtable is being featured tonight, so expect some spicy discussions, maybe as spicy as that sauce.
Yeah. Very spicy indeed.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Catch the highlights of the 54th Annual Long Island Regatta on Regatta Time. Relive the excitement of sailing and see what Long Island has to offer. Catch the highlights of the 54th Long Island Regatta on Regatta Time Long Island Edition, Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
A new era is dawning in Grand Bahama. An opportunity, it's knocking louder than ever. Introducing Tract B, Bahama Reef Yacht and Country Club, Unit 1. A prime corner commercial property, footsteps from the Port Lacaya Marketplace, crystal clear waters and white sandy beaches. This expansive 4.8-acre tract is zoned for commercial and multi-use development. Envision a thriving restaurant, a boutique hotel, or an entertainment hub unique to your vision come to life. You can live, work, play, and learn in paradise. when you seize this rare opportunity today. Collaborate with DEFCO and let's shape the future of Grand Bahama Island together.
Here, these for you. These must have got false bottom, because they look empty to me.
Not for long. You taking us shopping right now.
For what?
Things you're gonna need in case you can't get out of your house after a natural disaster.
We know when we had one hurricane around here.
That's it. We get 2 lakhs. It ain't only hurricane, we got to worry about, we could have tsunami or we could have earthquake. And they don't give you no time to go shopping.
What kind of earthquake?
Scientists just find one faulty line over there by McGuana. And even though they say it's stationary, it's there. So we need to go and get our survival kit.
Like what?
What you mean, like what? Plastic bag to put your important papers in, like water, medication, flashlight, radio, canned goods, things you need, things you might need, just in case you can't get out of your house after a natural disaster. These 2 plastic containers, the children them could paint them up in their special colors so they could know what they're looking for when you send them to look for it.
That's one thing I like about you. You always ready.
Hey y'all, what's up?
Hey, what's that?
What y'all getting?
Listen, I've been waiting to march down some lobster, yeah?
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys' waiter today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been chewing some for some grouper dread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work. Where the fish gone, though?
But how, though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world.
At Harold One, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's always good to have you along with us tonight. Exciting night. It's Tuesday night. That means political roundtable. But for many Bahamians, John Canoe is pure love. Many look forward to attending or watching the annual holiday parades here in Nassau. But at this moment, John Canoes are now threatening to kind of turn up the heat. The government's announcement of a new bill that would establish what is called a John Canoe Authority of the Bahamas, insisting it would depoliticize John Canoe by removing government from the nation's cultural expression, day-to-day operations. Our Colville Pryfman has been on this story all day. Let's take a look at his report.
As if it weren't already a sweltering summer, Junkanooers are now threatening to turn up the heat. The government's announcement of a new bill that would establish what it calls a Junkanoo Authority of the Bahamas, insisting it would depoliticize Junkanoo by removing government from the nation's cultural expression's day-to-day operations. Instead of ovations, though, the announcement is being met with overwhelming pushback from the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, who announced Tuesday that its members, which include groups in Divisions A, B, and D Junkanoo groups, are with immediate effect suspending all Junkanoo-related activities across the capital, clarifying that while the suspension is in effect, the only activities allowed will be memorial services, fundraisers, and civic events, noting that those events must have prior approval. The JCNP's objection, it appears, seems to be from an apparent lack of consultation, though its statement doesn't explicitly say that. The government issuing a response to the JCNP's actions saying, quote, "It is regrettable that the JCNP has chosen to misrepresent the intent of the government and politicize a process that is rooted in transparency, consultation, and national development. Junkanoo, it says, belongs to the Bahamian people, not to any single group or island, and the government has a constitutional responsibility to ensure its future is secured, its reach expanded, and its potential fully realized," the statement concludes. This is the latest in the Junkanoo saga, which fans will recall started with last year's fallout of the Valley Boys group, which ultimately led to a split of that Division A legacy group. A rift so deep, eventually the government got involved, and ultimately a court ruling was needed to bring about some form of resolve. On the sidelines this go-round, Junkanooers are hoping this fight ends even before the dog-hot days of summer do. Corvell Pyfrom for the Bahamas Tonight.
All right, thanks a lot, Corville. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this because here we are again. I remember last year, right before Junkanoo season in the holidays, we were talking about whether there would be Junkanoo because of the whole controversy with the Valley Boys and the JCNP getting upset because the Ministry of Youth got involved and said, listen, Junkanoo has to happen and these groups have to rush. And then there became an issue with it, and the JCNP threatened to not have the parades. Here again, almost a year later, JCNP now threatening again and saying right out that they're not going to get involved in any activities, there won't be any activities, they're suspending the activities. I got a problem with that because the bully-style techniques of the JCNP, where they believe they can control the country's #1 cultural expression, is, I think, bullish. And I think it's unnecessary. And I'm wondering whether there are personal agendas that are prevailing over what is best for the country and the Bahamian people, right? I want the JCNP to know, with all due respect, I know many of them who are part of JCNP, you don't control Junkanoo, neither do you own it. It belongs to the Bahamian people. And when you believe you can use it as a gun to somebody's head that we won't have Junkanoo because you can't get your own way, I think it's absolutely ridiculous, right? This is my opinion, this is my personal view. I believe you should never take the country's cultural expression and use it as a dangling threat to somebody because you don't get your personal way or your personal view. If you read the document of the bill that is presented, it makes simple sense that we formalize the business of Junkanoo and the cultural art of Junkanoo. Every country is doing it with their culture. Why are we not formalizing it? Matter of fact, this is the very reason why there needs to be an authority, so that people don't personally take Junkanoo and use it for their own personal agendas. That organizations like the JCNP don't begin to feel as though we run it, and if we don't get our way, then there won't be none. That's not how you run a national institution and a national treasure. And I believe institutionalizing it and making it an official authority removes it, as the bill says, from the hands of politicians. And I think right in this case, the fear isn't from politicians. The fear is from organizations where people have their own agendas. Why would the JCNP believe that they should own Junkanoo on their own? And don't give me the excuse that, oh, the JCNP is made up of representatives from all of the Junkanoo organizations and groups, because it's still not national. That's New Providence. It's not a national thing. It's only what you see here in New Providence. And what they're trying to do is make it a national authority that's responsible for Junkanoo around the entire country. It makes sense that you would want to get involved in this dialogue. It seems as though you're concerned that you will no longer have the authority to make the calls. And that may be why you thought that you can jeopardize Junkanoo and threaten it and cause people to go into a knee-jerk reaction and get nervous and get afraid and say, oh, Junkanoo is going to be put on hold, because you don't know how to dialogue and sit around the table. I'm not going into why other people have said it, or why there are people who are suggesting that there are political operatives at work, or why people are suggesting that there are personal operatives at work. I'm not going into all of that because I don't know all of that. All I know is it's our cultural expression, and I don't like how people use it as though it's a weapon that they can turn off and turn on when they can't get their way. I believe there ought to be civil dialogue. And in this bill and the press release that came up from the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture says they want to go into dialogue and discuss how we make this work. How do we get the right people in the organization, and how do we remove people's agendas? How do we move politics? How do we move all of it out of it and allow it to be institutionalized so that it's around for years to come? We can monetize it, make the business out of it, and we can always have our expression there. To me, that makes sense to come to the table and dialogue if you're seriously concerned and you have a heart for our passion of culture in Junkanoo. If you have your personal interests, you can do other things. But to suggest and come right out of a press release that you're going to threaten and shut things down is just childish. Absolutely childish and absolutely unnecessary. Going a step further, today, the Free National Movement leader, Michael Pintard, thought he should get in on the discussion, and he released a press release. It's probably the shortest press release I've ever seen him release in my entire life. And he says, hold it up, Honorable Michael Pintard responds to Ministry of Youth Sports mentioning him in Junkanoo Authority controversy. He says, quote, don't mix me up, keep politics out of Junkanoo. Don't mix me up, keep politics out of Junkanoo. That's the Free National Movement statement today. Somehow, though, I believe that the leader of the Free National Movement forget that our job in the Fourth Estate is to always keep record. And he forgot that on December 9th, 2024, he released a statement. I'm going to read the statement for you that Michael Pintard released in December. Because now he's saying, don't mix his name up. And here's why he's saying don't mix his name up. Because the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture credited him in their statement saying he would have suggested that this should happen as well. Now he's saying, keep his name out of it, don't mix his statement, don't mix him up. But on December 9th, 2024, I'll read the statement for you. Here's what Michael Pintard said. When I had the honor of serving as Minister of Culture, I worked closely with Junkanoo leaders and practitioners to host a conclave about the future of the festival. One of the outcomes of that meeting was a decision to create a Junkanoo Commission. The idea was simple but powerful, to form a public-private partnership that could manage key decisions affecting all aspects of Junkanoo. Doesn't sound like the Junkanoo Authority to you? Read the bill, it's the same thing. This structure was intended to, among other things, prevent unnecessary interference and overreach by central government, which into matters that could be best handled by the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, JCNP, the new commission, and other stakeholders. Junkanoo is bigger than politics. We believe, and I still do, that narrow political, personal, or family considerations should not influence decisions in our cultural festivals. Our culture is far too important to be overshadowed by short-sighted agendas. This was on December 9th. Michael Pintard. And it is on that premise that the Ministry of Youth, in their statement today, thanked Mr. Pintard for his suggestion, because that's exactly what they presented a bill to indeed bring in the Junkanoo Authority. But today, somehow he forgot his statement and is saying, don't mix me up, keep politics out of Junkanoo. Which is it, Michael Pintard? Do you want the institution, the authority, or commission, as you said, and you suggested? Or have you changed your mind months later, and now you don't want no mention of your name in it? Or is it because it's political season and you don't want to be on the side that's saying, let's put the commission that you suggested into play? That's what we do. We keep records, sir. I remind you of your words, because this indeed is not politics, or as you suggest in your book, politics. It is indeed a serious matter. It is our national culture, And sometimes we don't have to oppose against everything. We can stand together to preserve something that's important to our nation and not just disagree for the sake of disagreeing. Anyway, we're on politics, so let's go stay on politics. While Free National Movement, Bamboo Town Constituency Chairman Monique Seymour claims there's an implosion within the party. She said it last night here on my show. Since it seems former Bamboo Town MP Remington Wells, he won't get the party's nomination for the 2026 general elections. Wells remains tight-lipped on the issue. He told our news team he'll reserve his comments at least until the party executes its constitutional process for ratification. That process calls for the candidate nomination to first be made a constituency association. However, based on party rules, its executive committee will not ratify or nominate any candidate until all nominees are reviewed. And so that's the latest in this saga with Remington Wells. I think we've hit a nerve in the FNM on this particular one because since the show last night, some of the calls, I mean, if this was uncensored TV, I would play some of the messages I've received. I would play some of the texts. I would show you some of the texts I've received. We've apparently hit a nerve in the FNM. And that's what we, you know, whether it's the FNM, the PLP, COI, this is what we do here on this platform. We talk about the issues and we give commentary on the issues. It's going to require your big boy pants, and you're going to have to pull them up because we're going into a season where not everyone would agree with your point of view. And to get vulgar, I don't think it's going to achieve anything. At the end of the day, you could send whatever you want to send to my phone. You still got to deal with the problem in your party. Tomorrow night, we're going to have the deputy leader of the Free National Movement, Shannon Don Cartwright. He's agreed to come on and talk about some of the things in the FNM. And we're going to have a candid conversation with him and talk to him and hear what is happening on the leadership level and what's going on within the party. We look forward to that conversation tomorrow. But that's what we do. We provide opportunities for people to come and share their views, express themselves. Not everybody will share your view. Not everyone will feel your way. We'll try to keep it decent. And when we don't feel it's decent, we'll stop it or we'll try and apologize for it. But we want to allow people to express themselves. People won't agree. And I agree that it's the party's decision when its candidates are being nominated to decide who they want. But people who have worked in your parties ought to also feel they have a say in what happens and their voices are being heard. How political leaders handle their parties in runoffs, in decision-making, in ratifications, how they handle their politics in an election campaign is going to be very telling to an electorate as to who should govern them. And if people feel as though how you handle the business of campaigning is less than desirable, they will not think you will do well in governance. Same thing, and I've said it on both sides. I've said it even with the Progressive Liberal Party. You cannot ignore the concerns that exist among people. When you fail to ignore their concerns, they will indeed ignore you. And so I believe the governing party, the opposition parties ought to all take a lesson. And the lesson here today is bring the temperature down and listen to people who oppose. Because for one simple reason, you need their vote. So why dismiss people or argue against them in such a degrading manner or hurl insults at them and then want them to support you? It doesn't make sense. We need to take the anger out of it and listen to people's viewpoints. And if you disagree, you disagree. Let's do it respectfully. So at the end of the day, people can have a clear path to make decisions and not be cluttered with all of the nonsense and the sideshows that we now see happening in social media and all around. All right? It is Political Tuesday, and my panel they're burning. I could feel them over in the corner, ready to go take on these topics and these issues. We're going to talk about a couple of things tonight, including what's happening in the Free National Movement. And we're going to get started with our political panelists from the PLP, the FNM, Coalition of Independents, and the Bahamas Constitution Party. Right after this break, you're watching The Rundown, our roundtable on politics, right after the break. Stay close.
Mailboat service is a critical service to the islands of the Bahamas. Certainly, Andrews has always been there and dear to us. That's where we're born and raised. And so we play a crucial role in advancing the growth and development of Andrews. Customers want service and they want consistency. From the start, that's been our commitment. We work to sail on time every time. Our customers have come now to expect this from us. And one of the biggest challenges we've had was finding adequate funding. SPDC from the very start has been a lifesaver. My advice to young people, if you have a vision, a passion, an idea, go for it. Don't give up. It's not easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it. Be consistent and you'll get there.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
We go everywhere. Shop early at Janae's Chesapeake Road annual back-to-school sale going on now. Get up to 20% off on all school items in stock. Yes, all school items in stock. Shirts, jumpers, skirts, boys' long and short pants, school neckties, PE shorts, and a variety of colors and school monograms. Shop early and don't miss out at Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road's annual back-to-school sale going on now. Remember, we go everywhere. Beat the rush and save at Janae's annual sale now.
Bahama Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
Welcome back to The Rundown, and thank you for those of you joining us. If you're watching from around the country on your various platforms on YouTube, those of you in the Lion's Den, thank you for being here. Those of you watching in the region, around the world, or right here at home in New Providence, always good to have you with us. It's Political Tuesdays, our political roundtable. We're going to get into it, but I want to just make another announcement. I know before the break I'd announced that tomorrow night my guest is going to be Shannon Dawn Cartwright. I just received a text message of him apologizing, saying that he cannot make tomorrow night and that we will have to reschedule. So we won't have Shannon Dawn Cartwright tomorrow night as we had anticipated. He has rescheduled that interview. So we want to to let you know that now. I know we've been promoting that. He is rescheduled. We wish him best in whatever matter he is to attend to in that regard. Nonetheless, my political roundtable is here. You know them already by now. Here to talk on behalf of the PLP is, of course, the man himself over there, Kyle Dean. And then, of course, the vice chairman of the Free National Movement, Teneri Roll. And then, of course, the deputy leader for the Coalition of Independents, Dr. Veronica MacGyver. And then representing the party, deputy chief servant leader, is it? Dwayne Hyler from the Bahamas Constitution Party. Always good to have you back. Thank you for being here. Your contributions are always very valuable and indeed important for us in this course of discussion. We're going to get into our discussion now, but I want to start right where we've left off. Obviously, let's go to the Junkanoo. I know some people are boiling to talk about the Junkanoo situation. And the question, I guess, when I'll start off with is, the statement by Michael Pintard, was this a missed opportunity for him to claim credit for something that he had proposed?
Well, I'll tell you this, Clint. Let me start off here. What we have seen today is a clear example as to what I always say. He panders to the mood at the present time. It behooves me that you can go from all these good suggestions on December 9th, when there was some issues involving Junkanoo, and then the government comes with a proposed bill saying, you know what, let's nationalize Junkanoo.
Give you credit.
And give you credit because of your suggestion. And then you're going to come with a lackluster statement, keep my name out of it. But that's childish play. As much as you go into the House of Assembly and you say, the government don't take my suggestions, the government don't listen to the opposition, and the government comes back today, credits you for something, and your response to being credited for something is, keep my name out of it.
Yeah.
That tells me, and it tells the Bahamian people, that what he does is just for show. You cannot stand by your word. That means your word cannot be trusted. And that means going into the next election, if you are unable to stand on the words that you have spoken a few months ago, how are we able as the electorate to trust you when you say you're going to do something or these are your plans? How do we trust that you're not pandering to people's emotions? How do we trust you with the power of being prime minister when you cannot even stand on your word?
The issue here for people debating is whether or not this authority is a good idea. What say you about this authority? Right now, Junkanoo is kind of dealt with the Ministry of Youth or the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, which only deals with New Providence, and they're trying to create something that deals with Junkanoo for all family islands, all the Junkanoo groups.
So Clint, I'm in agreement with the authority because, like I said, the JCNP, I think, got their wind beneath their wings when Perry Christie was in power in 2004. And for 21 years, they were leading Junkanoo. But I think the time has come for us to expand that because Junkanoo is $1 billion industry as far as I'm concerned.
It is.
And if you form an authority, we can make money to put in the Sovereign Wealth Fund. So now, but we have to be very careful about the authority because if you put friends, lovers, and cronies on the board of the authority, then you might have problems. So, and this country, sometimes we say that there's a lot of corruption. So if you're going to form an authority, which I agree with, but just make sure that it's done with transparency and accountability. That is very, very important.
Which I thought is an important thing, why they're going into consultation with all of the people who are involved in Junkanoo. Because this is your opportunity to say, let's legislate in that bill that this is who makes up the committee. A representative from this group, these groups, a representative. You can determine how your authority should be composed so that you ensure that it's not based on who's in power today, that they run Junkanoo. You understand what I'm saying? So I believe that's why consultation is so important.
And another thing, too, is that the family islands, Exuma, Grand Bahama, they have Junkanoo as well.
Yeah,
And apparently I understand that the JCN has no power over them.
It's only New Providence.
So I believe that the time has come for us to have a centralized body that
Correct.
we can do everything.
Correct.
So I'm not against it. But like you said, Pintard did miss an opportunity. And this is the silly season, so he's pandering to votes. He's
Yeah.
thinking that if he go against the JCNP, he would lose votes. But I believe that all of us can come together because Junkanoo is our cultural heritage. We need Junkanoo. Everybody are our friends. And I just want the JCNP to know that, listen, everybody needs to come to the table and dialogue and come to a decision what's best for this country. That's what
Was canceling, the JCNP announced that they would put on hold and suspend activities. In your view, Denari, was that the right decision?
Okay, so good evening, Bahamas. I'm happy that you started with this Junkanoo topic tonight, Clint. And I don't know if any of you guys participate in Junkanoo, actually rush going to shock or that sort of stuff, but I've been an avid Junkanoo all my life. I actually sat on the JCMP, so I'm well versed in how Junkanoo operates and that sort of stuff. I'm a leader in my Junkanoo group. And I mean, Carl and Dr. MacGyver, they mentioned, Pintard flip-flopping or pandering to the emotions of the Bahamian people, right? But when we talk about flip-flop, since everybody wants to get on my lead, it's important to note, right? The same current Prime Minister just went on record and said no more bills or legislation being passed coming into the election season when he promised a variety of things. So when you talk about flip-flopping and going against your word, it's not one-sided, right? And forgive Junkanooers if this is the same government, just last parade, got involved with a situation that caused that same release that you spoke about, that Pintard release. Today he stated, keep my name, don't get my name in it, and don't put politics in Junkanoo. That was also referenced in this statement in December the 9th. And he did, yes, he did recommend for a Junkanoo commission, but how is it set up? The reality is if you look at that bill, and yes, it's in the consultation phase, you cannot be mad at Junkanooers for being frustrated with government interference and the JCMP for being on edge because they just had to go through it. If you, on the outside, looking at something you're not experiencing with their experience, you can't speak for the pain and the frustration that they felt. And now here it is again. You're asking for consultation. And we can't trust this government with nothing. What they call consultation is here. We giving you this, we show you it, and we moving forward. If you read the bill, and I took my time to go through that entire bill today, that bill, and when you talk about Junkanoo is not representing the family island, that's not a fact. The facts are there's the NJC, the National Junkanoo.
That's not the JCMP.
No, hold on. Let me finish.
The JCMP has no jurisdiction over family islands.
I let everybody.
Denari, I'm not going to allow you to misrepresent the statement that we said.
Yes.
We said the JCNP has no jurisdiction
on the
over family islands.
Yes, y'all say.
That's why it's called the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence.
Yes, but y'all also, again.
You know about the Junkanoo Corporation of
Hold on. Every time I speak, everybody interrupts me. I don't know why I might be the hot target, but when y'all speak, I lie all day. But anyhow, I'm referencing the NJC.
Probably you.
I'm representing the NJC. I mean, no, you're the man, Clint. But if I can talk and they keep being interrupted, I will mention.
Give your point.
I'm not going to be sitting here and be bullied or dictated to by if you're the show host. I understand. But anyway, what I'm referencing is...
They gave you instructions tonight.
I mean, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. But the NJC is also a component of Junkanoo. And so we don't have to reference the fact that the JCMP does not deal with the family islands because the National Junkanoo Committee deals with the parades on the family islands. So you have two entities right now that exist, which is the JCMP and the NJC, that covers Junkanoo island-wide. That is my point. So everybody is just pointing out that the JCMP can't bully or dictate or whatever, but you also have the NJC that speaks and deals with the family island parades. So at the end of the day, when you look at that bill, in that bill, right now, like you said, it's in its consultation phase, and I hope the government really consults, because right now, there is no powers for the NJC, neither the JCMP inside of the bill. The authority is taking full ownership of Junkanoo, and every single member, to Dr. MacGyver's earlier point, is being appointed by the government. So when you talk about family, friends, and lovers, and the government running Junkanoo, they are appointing basically the whole authority of this, of the whole board base of the present authority. So I'm saying, I just hope that they are serious about consultation and they don't do what they normally do, and you cannot Junkanooers for having an issue when the Prime Minister, brother, is actively involved with one of the major Junkanoo groups that bought Junkanoo to this point 21 years later.
So let's talk about it, because you make very serious statements as though to say, and if the Prime Minister's brother, because I keep hearing this come up, has all this power to determine what the country does and what Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture does and what organizations does, he got a lot of power. Maybe he should be the Prime Minister. I think it's just frivolous, because in this country we are related to somebody at some point in time. I think that statement is worn out. Now, I think we have to deal with the facts, and the facts ought to be, as a country, we ought to always look to establish things that are sacred and important to us, and to ensure it is around for generations to come. A national authority will do that. It will institutionalize Junkanoo. It will explore the business of Junkanoo. It will create funding for Junkanoo.
If done correctly.
If done correctly. We have to jump in here, and I will reiterate it again. If done properly. I didn't mention the Prime Minister's brother intentionally, but since you brought it up, that's been in the news a lot lately. We have to be very careful for conflicts of interest. And I see we're going down a dark path if we're not careful how the authority is put together, because we will be worse off with that than we are with the JCNP. So the JCNP...
So it's like what you talk about when you say put the cart before the horse. Here it is, the government has announced its intention.
Yes.
It's not begun consultation, it's announced consultation. I always say, my people, we go to D before we start at A. We're already gone to knocking it down before we say, okay, let's sit around the table and let me voice to you my concerns with this bill. That's how rational people deal with things. If the government presents to you, this is what we want to do, and says we're going into consultation, then you sit around the table and you meet and you consult. And if at the end of the day you believe that your points of views are not recorded and implemented, then you go to the next level and say, no, we won't support it. The opposition is in a perfect position to speak up against it. They have to vote for it in Parliament. They have to be able to actually debate the bill, speak on the bill, and vote on the bill. So before you have the opportunity to do what we are constitutionally elected to do as Bahamians, and what is a proper process, why knock something down that you've called for when this is the beginning stage of putting in place structure? Again, there is a place for all of these institutions. Right? The JCNP is responsible for the parade management, right? And you have a parade management team, but the JCNP is responsible for the parades in New Providence. The Junkanoo Corporation of the Bahamas, or the board responsible for all the Family Islands, they have a place in dealing with the Family Islands. There's a place for everyone. But I believe here, if we can see clearly, there is a concern about we won't have the supreme power anymore to be able to do what we want to do, and when we believe the government has said something that we don't believe we support, we shut down, we cancel, we pull away. And I think that in itself...
That is not the JCNP approach.
That's all right.
And again, as a Junkanoo, I'm going to tell you, Clint, that is not the reason they are saying they're going to shut down. Again, you are on the outside looking in. Unless you are experiencing what we are experiencing, what we have to go through.
Don't tell me, listen, you tell me I'm outside, on the outside
because you're trying to say that the
JCNP...
No, but you're trying to say the JCNP...
I am not on the outside. I have interviewed, I've spoken to just about every one of them. I am not on the outside.
No, but
I will not let you sit on this set and tell me I am on the outside.
That's fine. Well, I will not let you sit on this set and say that the JCNP is taking this position because they want to rule. That's not the case. Because if that's the case, why would all Junkanoo groups agree with it? The JCNP is made up of every single group.
Of course it is.
Island have to offer. So why does every group all of a sudden say, oh, we just ain't gonna rush no more because we want our way?
Is it every group? Because hold on, because you have representatives on JCNP, and what do you see happening? The same thing happens in political parties. You have one person who in the party who believes a certain thing, and then you have members who say, no, we totally against it. So that the representative on that committee may share a certain view, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's the view of the majority of persons in their Junkanoo group.
No, but what happens is the representatives in the room meets with their group.
So you're telling me, in a matter of hours, the representatives from the JCNP met with their Junkanoo groups who are in 100 and got a general consensus?
No, this is not, again, this is not, I'm not saying that happened, but what I'm saying is this is not the first time
I can probably
has had
challenge
issues
you to
with the
say,
government.
before the end of this week, you'll have other persons on the JCNP who come up and say they don't support that idea.
Again, I'm not saying that the national authority cannot work. Let me just make that clear. I'm not saying that the national authority cannot work. All I'm telling you is you cannot be mad or childish, call people childish, or say they're trying to bully their way if they already had experience with this government where they feel like they are being bullied and they
So
are being
based on that
dictated
experience,
to.
you believe they should not come to the table?
They should come to the table and they should consult, and they actually, they have met.
All right,
So I'm just saying it's not the bullish
That's reasonable.
approach
That's reasonable.
And like you said,
being portrayed.
And like you said,
understood.
Other southern countries in the Caribbean already have an authority for their cultural heritage.
Right.
So, and I think there was something about if you're going to go this route, you have to pay $45 million for the laborers in Junkanoo. So I'm trying to figure out where did they get that figure from.
Yeah, that was strange.
That was kind of strange for me, because if the government could only give seed money up to like so many thousands, where did this $45 million come from? Are you aware of that? So
no. It's almost like you
penalizing us for
But my thing is, Clint, me tell you how I feel. I don't want to belabor the point because I want to move on. The first response is going to be we cancel operations until further notice.
Right.
You didn't even sit to the table to say, okay, we read the bill. Are you prepared to take our suggestions?
Right.
We have met as a Junkanoo world and we want to put these forth. Is the government prepared to amend the bill to fit what we believe should happen? None of that took place, but their first response in the statement will be operates canceled until further notice. I think that's unfair. And I think this is the exact reason why we need to move the power from certain people controlling Junkanoo. Last year, Junkanoo canceled, and everybody talking, and all Bahamas were friends, he saying, man, why you canceling Junkanoo? We didn't bought our tickets, stuff like that. I think we need to remove the emotions out of Junkanoo, and I believe this bill is going to achieve that.
All right, we're going to a break, and we'll come back and move on to another topic, but I'll tell you this before, for every time there have been threats to cancel parades, none has ever been canceled. That should tell you who really has the power. The people. The people.
People have the power. Stick on to GCN. People.
Hey, ladies, where's the Dave? Oh, okay, thanks. Bets.
Greg, what's up?
Ready, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. He's meditating. You gotta give him at least an hour.
All right, well, I can wait. I ain't got nothing to do. Been Pinatile saying now on to independence.
I am a master plumber by profession. I've been doing plumbing for over 40 odd years. When I was 9 months old, I was diagnosed with polio. To me, living with polio, I took it the way it is. I never allowed my polio to get in my way of anything. In fact, I love when people doubt me, and I just prove them wrong. And let me tell you, in the world, you could only find a plumber as good as me, but you ain't gonna find no plumber better than me. People with disability, they just need a chance. In this program, I feel so encouraged. Most of the mentors have different kind of disability, but disabilities like me. Sharing and caring and showing so much support with people with disability. They would encourage you to go beyond. I wish this was around a long time ago. Right now, I would have been a millionaire. You out there who have a disability, don't be afraid. Take the step. If you believe it, you could achieve it. And remember one thing, ain't no one better than me, and ain't no one better than y'all. God made all us equal.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
Shop early to get your uniforms and catch Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4 get 1 free sale. Pre-monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desk. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back-to-school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back-to-school special. Restrictions apply.
In 2010, a grant helped Bahama's striping group of companies get started. Today, that seed has grown into a national force, building roads, airports, and brighter futures. Now, we're leading the way through public-private partnerships, what we call 3Ps, where government vision meets private sector innovation. 3Ps empowers local subcontractors, giving them the chance to bid. And with every contract, we're putting money directly into communities, creating jobs, supporting families, and fueling growth. From roads in Eleuthera to community centers in the inner city, we're not just laying asphalt, we're laying foundations for financial opportunity. At Bahama Striping Group of Companies, we believe in building more than infrastructure. We're building up Bahamians who build the Bahamas. 3Ps, public-private partnerships for people, progress, and prosperity.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Welcome back to our political roundtable. Move on to the next topic with our roundtable. Obviously, is the process of ratification in political parties, right? It always seems to be a challenging time, and it's interestingly, and I think it's fair to say that it's more difficult for opposition parties than it is for government, right? When the Progressive Liberal Party was in opposition, they went through a whole lot of challenges with the ratification process because you had what they call aspiring candidates who were all in constituencies trying to vie for it, and it became a whole ruckus when your candidate didn't get selected. People were mad, people were disgruntled, people threatened to stay home, whatever. They were in opposition. Now, in opposition, Free National Movement seems to be facing kind of the same thing, whereas once a candidate that people select is not chosen, people go rogue and say, this ain't what we want and we ain't supporting no more. Is it just rhetoric, or is it a part of the process? Or is it something that parties should pay particular attention to?
Well, I could take this first. Yeah, the FNM has had a lot of problems recently. They have a lot of internal conflict going on, and they're losing the people's trust slowly. When I look at the three names who got ratified, who were in Menace's executive cabinet, and then the other three names who was in the cabinet did not get ratified, from an outsider looking in, I'm trying to figure out, how did the council come to that decision? Why did you choose 3 from the cabinet and the other 3 from the cabinet was not ratified? What was the basis of it? I came to the conclusion, perhaps, that 3 of them voted for Menace at the convention. So, I mean, it's obvious, that's how it seems to me, that there is an internal conflict, and no matter how they try to get through it, there is disunity in the party, and it is going to weigh heavily on the FNM. But let me say this. I am not a member of the FNM. Everybody watching this knows that I'm a member of COI. And let me tell you something, I'm running my race. And I am not going to look back, because when you're running your race, you look back, you lose a second. My eye is on the prize to get to the finish line for the New Bahamas. And I just want our message to get out, what COI stands for and our policies for the New Bahamas. So while we have to talk about the FNM in Political Tuesday, I have my eyes on my prize, and whatever they do.
Your party was the first to ratify its candidates.
Yes.
Were there any challenges in making decisions on who you're going to use from various constituencies? Did you go through that process?
Yes, we do have the same process where the branches that are formed, they have the first say. They say, well, this is who we would like.
Right.
But it has to go to the executive. And then after the executive, then it goes to the council. And so that's the way our party operates. So the candidates committee would vet them
Did you
first.
have any internal fighting or issues with the candidates?
Yeah, like every other organization, not internal fighting, but people gave their opinions on what they thought as we went through the process. But at the end, we all agreed. By the time we got to the council, we all saw what the other person was saying.
All right.
Yes.
Well, let me jump in right there, Clint. Doc, I'd say you lost a second because you started off your speech speaking about the F&M, so you still lost a second by reference.
No, sir.
But let me talk to the Bahamians. Let me talk to the Bahamians on this. Let me talk to the Bahamians on this particular case. The F&M candidate process for the 2026 general election was the most democratic, open and fair process I'd say we had in the history of the party. And to me, I just want to actually applaud the leadership for taking such an unprecedented approach in this process, if I have to say so myself. The reality is the F&M received some 100 applications for 39 seats. So outright, we know, all of us could agree that 67 odd candidates or applicants would not turn out to be successful candidates. That's by nature. The F&M Constitution speaks to the fact that associations are able to submit recommendations to the party. The party takes those recommendations, they forward it to the candidates committee. They review a variety of factors with the recommendation. They choose each prospective candidate for who they think were best suited based off all the parameters and recommendations that were put forward, and they forward that to the council for official ratification. The F&M has used that process to ratify 17 successful and unanimously candidates to date. So when we talk about disunity, right, or the F&M is not listening to the associations, or we have this problem or dictatorship, right? The reality of the matter is this process is being used for every single candidate. The F&M has 22 more candidates to go. The mainstay in the media in terms of disunity stemmed from the Kalani situation, which is still ongoing, by the way, and following this process. And most recently now we see Bamboo Town getting involved, which is still ongoing and in process. Now, Bill, I want you to understand, Kalani has not been ratified yet. Bamboo Town has not been ratified yet. If there was such a dictatorship or disunity, picture for a second, these are internal conversations leadership are having with these constituency association that is making its way to the public even before a decision is actually made of the process.
So you're saying there's still a possibility that these persons can be ratified?
What we are seeing here is not disunity, not non-consultation, because these are coming from the leadership talking to these associations, so we're communicating to these associations. What we're seeing here is, from the meetings, some executive members of this association potentially does not agree with what the outcome or who the process might end up choosing, or the candidate might end up being based off the selection process. So we're not arguing process, we're not operating a dictatorship, because clearly consultation is happening. And if it wasn't, again, I go back to the most fair and democratic process. If leadership wasn't so democratic and allowed for more input and voices in the matter, we wouldn't be dealing with this. However,
is it because the process isn't finished, is there a possibility that those persons could still be ratified?
Again, I wasn't in the meeting to know what the specifics were of the conversations, but what I'm saying to you is that process has not been completed.
But you're the vice chairman.
Yes, but I was the vice chairman, but I wasn't in that meeting. So ultimately,
but there's not been consultation with the executive? You're part of the executive team?
Yes, I'm saying there was consultation with these associations. That's what I'm saying.
No, I mean the executive.
Yes.
The executive, when the leader decides to speak to a particular constituency and express a certain viewpoint, the executive isn't aware of his point and his position?
Again, that's why I said the executives meet with these associations. Not all of the executives. Some of us don't be there all the time. You don't catch every meeting.
So all of the executives aren't aware of what his position has been?
No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying to you is they met, right? the leadership met with these associations. That process is not completed.
Okay.
We're not arguing dictatorship or us being reported. We're not listening to the constituency association. The only thing we're arguing is people that some members of these executive associations are not comfortable potentially with what the outcome may be. And that is their right.
Fine.
But it's not right to report that we're not consulting or we're disunified just because you don't get your person of interest potentially. Because again, these associations has not been completed.
No problem. I want to move on to something else. I don't want to just stay on the F&M, but I know our time is running out. I want to move on to foreign supervisors and the impacts of Bahama. See what's happening in Norman's Key. And Bahamans have been crying out saying, listen, these foreigners have been treating people bad. Government has said that it has a zero-tolerance approach to it. It has intervened. They've even taken some action legally against persons that they found were not in compliance. What is your party's positions regarding that kind of involvement in labor, foreign involvement in labor? What is your party's policies when it comes to that?
Well,
Dr.
I'll speak to that. Let me say, Clint, the most shocking thing that we have heard this week is when the Director of Labor would have said, not everywhere you see smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, that concerned me when I saw that.
I mean, we've heard the age-old adage, where there's smoke, there is fire.
You're right.
Either the fire took place before you got there, or there's a fire building up.
Correct.
Reports have been coming out of Norman's Key and also Great Stirrup Key for months, and there's been virtually no response, only in the paper. Okay, hold on. Let me be exact now. Let's not waste time. Let's not waste time.
Get to the facts.
The newspaper headline said that heads will roll over what is happening on those islands. Big headline. No heads rolled, no punishment.
But are you?
Let me finish the thought. Let me finish the thought. Let me finish the thought. Allow me to finish the thought. What we have is the Director of Labor said that he has seen the worst of worst claims came in. The worst claims have come in. The next thing we heard was that there's a Zoom meeting with the developers. Now, if somebody breaks the law, how are you going to call a Zoom meeting to deal with the infraction? Kyle, with all due respect, there were claims of boats pulling in with many different nationalities, pulling up to the shore with different languages, you know, all color skin, pulling in, unchecked. No work permits. Some came in on tourist visas, but there were no action taken.
Okay,
this is very concerning.
Let me clarify that.
Okay,
You reported on Friday that there was a task force that went in.
I wanted to get there.
They did deal with the matter on
immigration,
Friday. That was
labor,
reported on Friday. So just
immigration and labor.
clarification.
Okay, for clarification, there was a
immigration
thing
went in.
that took place.
And they went in and
They went in.
To be correct.
What was the punishment,
Labor.
Kyle?
Well, that's the
Understand
due process has happened.
Understand this. There's a claim. There's an investigation.
Yes.
Labor went down there.
Yes.
Right, to the point where they stayed in tents. They went down there.
Yes.
Are you aware of that?
And they said there were breaches. They said there were breaches.
Let's get you. You say there was no action taken. Are you aware that they went down there, they stayed in tents?
There was no action taken against the breach.
Respectfully, so they
There was a law.
Are you aware that Labor went down there, they stayed in tents and they did an investigation? Are you aware of that? Yes or no?
I am aware that they did an investigation, yes.
Okay, so you're aware they went down there. So your claim of no action was taken as false. Let's get to Friday. Okay. Friday, there was a collective force that went down there by surprise and rounded up people by the boat loads and shipped them off Norman Key for due process. Are you aware of that? So there were complaints.
That was reported on Friday.
There were complaints. There was a meeting with the developers. There was a surprise investigation because they didn't know labor was coming, which is why they had to stay in tents. And then after that, there was a collaborative force that went there, rounded up all of everybody, brought them in and said, listen, everybody got to show you your work permit.
So here's where I want to intervene because we're running out of time. And I want to get back to your party's position. We already know what we see happening here. What is your party's position regarding Bahamian workers and foreign laborers?
Well, you want to talk? Okay.
Go ahead.
There has to be, let me just say.
I give you time. You didn't come up with your parties. I got to get somebody else. We're running out of time.
I know that the Director of Labor said that this is the worst he's seen. I believe that there are human smuggling and everything, and I'll go as fast as I can. You know that our policy is always be putting Bahamians first. As far as I'm concerned, I feel as if there is too much expatriates and foreigners owning businesses in the Bahamas. So that's the first thing we're going to try to do, is try to minimize the amount of foreigners who own businesses. But that doesn't mean if you're a Bahamian or a foreigner, you must take advantage of your laborers. You have to follow the labor laws, and so we will continue with that. But basically our policy is put Bahamians first and empower Bahamians to be owners, so we don't have this kind of problems, because too many times we've heard at Atlantis and a couple of the other hotels and where they complain that the expats are treating the Bahamians poorly. We've heard that many times, and we will not settle for that in this country. Not anyone coming in and telling us.
Eric?
Well, the L in Operation Shields basically stands for limiting approvals. And so when we look at it, we intend to do, the digital system to, one, kill some of the bureaucracy, because you do have some legit applications for foreign workers. And then two, those that are, again, not rightfully in the country, they'd be deported and sent their way. One of the things, too, that could solve this issue, and I think we'll be addressing when we look at legislations and the negotiations, the contract that some of the foreign developers sign, even if they bring in jobs, we intend to fight harder for what Bahamians get out of those contracts. And so when we sit at the negotiation table, the little 200 or 300 jobs might just not be enough. Our baseline for what the amount of Bahamian workers that need to be employed will be adjusted. And so once we work through our SHIELD process, the Operation SHIELD, the limited approval, and then once we too have to disclose the data to make the necessary non-emotional decisions, but data-driven decisions, that will assist with the work permit situation, deal with the foreign laborers, and then Bahamians first at the helm.
Carl, I'll give you 30 seconds.
Yeah, so very quickly, I want to give special props to the Director of Labor, Howard Jr.
Thompson?
Howard Thompson Jr.
Howard
Yes.
Thompson Jr.
I could honestly say from experience, since he has gone to the department, he has done what he can to address complaints and to address systemic corruption in the department, where the granting of labor certificates with files wasn't corrected. So he has personally taken on those kinds of stuff to ensure the efficiency of the Department of Labor. And also what he has done is ensure that jobs that Bahamians could do doesn't get past the Department of Labor to even get to immigration. And so I believe that he is doing his part. And you have to give him his props, and you have to give the Minister, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, her props. They're doing a magnificent job in the Department of Labor. Of course, there's room for improvement. Of course, a lot of these stuff lies on the public servant doing their job at the best of their ability with honesty. But I can honestly say, Clint, that they have done a good job in tightening up the belt of labor in this country.
I'll give each of you 45 seconds, and we're closing the show. And I want to start, because we're going to continue with this next week, on land ownership. The government began doing some work by introducing the bill on land reform last week in Parliament. Your party's position when it comes to land ownership and clearing up what has been a confusing registry and confusing process to getting Crown land for Bahamians. 45 seconds, each of you.
Well, we believe that the current form of the land reform is inadequate. We're talking about a team, an adjudicator, a surveyor going to property and determining who's the owner. So we get into that next week. How do you send a small group to determine who owns the property, and it becomes final? So we get to it next week.
Okay, so we are in agreement with the two bills that were passed. Of course, we made suggestions as to what we would like to see when you adjudicate. It's very important to have a community base and a lot of other issues that we want dealt with, like legal aid. You have to educate our Bahamian people, because when you start to adjudicate, our Bahamian people need to know what they're up against and so forth when they're trying to demarcate their land. And, our policy has always been to give Crown land to Bahamians. As a matter of fact, I'll take the opportunity to say we will give 1 acre of Crown land to every Bahamian, adult Bahamian, 21 years and over. And so this has been long coming. In my convention speech, one of the things I said that the COI will do, immigration is our #1 policy, land reform was our #2 policy. And so I feel as if the government is now using this land reform to get brownie points before election. And I'll tell you why I say that. The freedom of information, they kicked the can down the road, they didn't do it. Campaign finance reform, they didn't do it. And a number of other things they're not doing. So this, to me, is just another election ploy. They gave us the Ministry of Natural Resources. They did nothing with it. Vaughn Miller, I like Vaughn Miller as a person, but he was used as a pawn in that ministry. And so this is a tactic of the PLP to bring present these things to the Bahamian public just before election to get votes, and then after they win, or if they should win, which I doubt they will not win, they forsake the Bahamian people and they do not bring it to fruition.
All right.
Well, I just want to agree with Dr. McIver. PLP will not win. We agree on something today. But again, too, though, I mean, it's a step in the right direction. I would say that I don't have no initial bad things to say about it. Just hopefully it takes the full enforcement, and so that once we do that, in terms of the F&M housing revolution, we're able to unlock our housing revolution on top of that land reform, and it's guided by our local innovation, smart investment, and the fast and fair process. So you would have heard the leader spoke about how we're going to target certain engineers and architects to put together the structures and that sort of stuff. We're going to form this private-public real estate partnership to give the funding to the Bahamian people, and then, again, digitize the system, remove the bureaucracy, ensure that the proper lending institutions are available for the Bahamian people to access housing. And so it's a start in the right direction. It ties into what we could do. We'll use the bill when we win, and we'll really roll it out for the Bahamian people to live and enjoy the pleasures of their land, and that's what the FNM will do. Right?
Well, one thing I agree, Clint, is their housing scheme, their housing revolution plan is very revolutionized. I say that because their plan is to divest Bahamian land into private, into the back pockets of private investors to develop. So I don't know what's so grand about that, and that's in the plan. But I would tell you this, Clint. The government is serious about land reform. The two bills that were brought forward is going to ensure that you don't have these fights over properties. You don't have this quite enough title acquisitions going on anymore. Once you own the land, you own the land. And to speak with my brother said over here, he talked about the adjudicator being the final say. That is untrue. If you read the bill and you understand this in entirety, if you feel that you are unjust or the decision of the adjudicator is unjust, you have recourse to the Supreme Court. Not only that, the government is prepared to pay you if you would have lost something that might have rightfully been yours. So there is cash in it. So if you are wronged, you are entitled to payment in the law. And so I believe that this is going to prevent people from coming with a better title and fighting from the property you own. And so I believe that everybody should get on board with it. Of course, the law hasn't been changed for the last 100+ years. And so we have thousands and thousands of acres to sort through. It is not a quick process, but it has begun. Governments talked about it. The FNM talked about it. Other administrations talked about it. They never did it. So we have to give credit to the Prime Minister for doing this, bringing land reform into the reality of the Bahamian dream.
We wait to see it in action. Yes, wait to see it in action.
Thank you again, my panel, for being excellent as always in your views and so forth. And again, we do want to tell you a programming note. I think tonight we are going to play the rebroadcast of Minister of Housing Keith Bell closing contribution to that land reform bill that took place last week. We're going to play his contribution tonight on the ZNS network for those who may have missed it when they closed, because it was very late in the evening when they ended the debate. And so we're going to replay that tonight so that people can get informed and see exactly what this bill is seeking to do. And that's it for the rundown. Be sure to stay locked to the ZNS network for the Bahamas tonight at 11. It's the final newscast in the country, the only last newscast in the country, fresh news at 11 o'clock with Corvell Pythram. And for all of us here at ZNS, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Montague, I'm Opal Roach. This is ZNS.